Good evening and welcome to Game Time on YurView. Tonight's high school game of the week is in Scottsdale, where the Saguaro Sabercats host the Higley Knights. Hello everybody, Chris Harris here along with three-time Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys and former Saguaro Sabercat great Dale Hellstrait. And Dale, when the schedule came out this year, this game was identified as one of the marquee matchups this season. A possible preview for the 4A state championship game. Saguaro's won 4 straight state titles. Higley is knocking on the door.
It's going to be fun to watch this game tonight. Brand new field for Saguaro. Tough opening schedule. We'll see how they respond.
Higley is a team that went 11-2 last year, made it to the state semifinals, where they lost to Catalina Foothills, preventing a Saguaro Higley state championship game last year. Head coach Eddie Zuby for the Knights is hoping it happens this year.
He's done a really nice job. He comes from a long line of winning, played at De La Salle's, a 205-pound offensive lineman. He's done a nice job at Higley, but you're always looking to take that next step until you win a state championship. That's what they're looking for this year.
Well, the unquestioned leader for Higley and Knight in shining helmet and shoulder pads is senior running back Drayson Hall, the state's reigning Gatorade Player of the Year.
What a dynamic player. You see the hole right there, great offensive line blocking, but look at the vision, bounces it outside. He's also physical at the point of attack. When he sees contact coming, he will lower that shoulder and try and gain a couple extra yards. Very dynamic anytime he gets the football in his hands.
Well, Saguaro is trying to make Arizona state history by winning 5 straight state championships. The only other 2 schools to win 4 in a row is Flagstaff in the early 1980s, Lakeside Blue Ridge in the mid-1990s. But Jason Mond's Sabercats have lost their last 2 games.
And they went out and scheduled purposely a couple really tough out-of-state opponents. He knew he had a young squad coming back. He wanted to see how they were going to respond. Well, this team has responded in practice. Now it's time for them to put that out under the lights on a Friday night. Jason Mond's as good a coach as there is in the state of Arizona.
Offensively, the Sabercats have weapons everywhere, but one player that has emerged already this season as a big playmaker is senior wide receiver Logan Pettijohn, who's drawing interest from Washington, Michigan State, as well as some others.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job, a nice security blanket for Massey and Gale. He can do damage after he catches the ball. Nice soft hands, big target over the middle, and once he catches the ball, look out. He doesn't want to stop till he gets to the end zone.
All right, when we come back, we'll have the Sanderson keys to the game. Higley and Saguaro, you're watching Game Time on YurView.
Refresh yourself with a Polar Pop Cup from Circle K. It stays cold longer, and we offer more choices than ever before. More choices like Powerade, vitamin water, iced tea, and full throttle. Ready for the best part? You can get any size foam Polar Pop cup for only 89 cents every day. More choices than ever before. Talk about refreshing. More choices, most value at Circle K.
I do a lot of online shopping. I read a lot of reviews. Read the reviews on Sanderson Ford. I think you'll be pleasantly pleased. Everybody that's come through there is extremely excited when they walk out of Sanderson Ford. And I think if you go and look at their reviews, it's going to tell you that they're first-class service. They go out of their way above and beyond to make that customer happy, and you couldn't ask for any better company than Sanderson Ford.
Ford, America's best-selling brand. Sanderson Ford, America's best-selling Ford dealership.
If you want better opportunities in your life and your current job is taking you nowhere, you can look through the classified ads for a better job. You can apply for jobs that are out there, or you can call us at AAI and get the career training you need for a career you'll love.
A job is a short-term solution, but real change happens in your life when you're in a career that offers you satisfaction and rewards. Why just work at a job when you can build a strong foundation for a career you can be passionate about?
Check us out at aai.edu or call now.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Game Time game of the week on YurView. Higley and Saguaro, a big 4A clash. Well, here are tonight's Sanderson Ford keys to the game. The best play is at Sanderson Ford.
Both coaches mentioned right off the bat when you ask them, so what do you have to do to win the game? They both said we have to control the line of scrimmage. So they know, both teams know how important it is up front, both sides of the ball. Obviously, when we talk about Drayson Hall, as good as there is in the state of Arizona versus the Saguaro run defense, they gave up 431 yards on the ground last week. And then turnovers. Both of them talked about not turning the ball over. You talk about both coaches saying, you know what, we want every possession to end with a kick. Whether that's an extra point, a field goal, or a punt, they don't want to turn the ball over.
All right, let's get this one going. Kickoff between Saguaro and Higley when we come back.
When the day turns into night, my hash browns turn into my new $3 Munchie mashups. Crispy hash browns, tasty white cheese, mashed up with your choice of savory egg and bacon, buffalo chicken and ranch, or jalapenos and bacon. Each for just $3. Why? Because everything gets more interesting at night. Vampires wake up, werewolves come out, and the boogeyman gets his boogie on. So try my delicious $3 Munchie mashups and keep the party going until the sun comes up. Ooh, $3 Munchie mashups from Jack in the Box.
Are you talkies enough?
Capital of Iceland.
Reykjavik. R-E-E-Y.
Whoops.
Talkies. Taste the fury of our flavors and face the intensity.
Brandon's played sports since he was about 4 years old. He was playing flag football and tweaked his knee. We ended up taking him to Phoenix Children's. The doctors confirmed that the ACL was torn, and we were given the option to not surgically repair, but then he would have to stop all sports. Brandon was devastated. We ended up going forward with the surgery when the doctor gave him the thumbs up. He wanted to go back out onto the playing field that night. Phoenix Children's played a huge role in getting him back to sports.
The YurView Game of the Week is sponsored locally by Sanderson Ford. The best play is at Sanderson Ford. By Jack in the Box. Come try the new really big chicken sandwich combo for only $3.99. Limited time only. By Arizona Automotive Institute. Turn your dreams into reality with career training from AAI. By Red Devil Italian Restaurant. Family owned since 1960. By Circle K. It's time to take a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. By Vi Luna, proud sponsor of student athletes in Arizona. By Phoenix Children's Sports Medicine, Arizona's only comprehensive sports medicine program for young athletes. And by Talkies, face the intensity. And we are set for kickoff here. Higley will be kicking off to Saguaro, the Knights in white, Sabercats in black. And we are set to go here. The big 4A clash is underway. And it's going to be a squib kick down the middle. Handled cleanly by Saguaro, making some room right there. LaRae Lucas, the senior running back. And it's going to be excellent field position to start off this game for the Sabercats.
A lot of times those squib kicks, a lot of teams put athletes at that second line of defense, and they're almost as dangerous as your deep returners. Saguaro starting off with great field position.
Here's your Jack in the Box starting lineups. Come try the new $3.99 really big chicken sandwich combo with double the cheese and double the chicken plus curly fries and a drink for only $3.99, limited time only.
Be ready to strap it up because both these teams are going to go at a rapid pace.
And it's Max Massengale, shotgun formation. Fakes it to Josiah Brantley, in on the slant and making the catch. It's going to be Logan Pettijohn, the man we spoke of off the top of the broadcast.
Ran just a quick little slant route off the play action. Remember, when you can run the football as well as Saguaro can, you have to sit there and make sure that your linebackers play defense.
Max Massengale takes another shot to the sideline. It's going to fall incomplete. Looking for Pettijohn once again. Pettijohn, he's got some looks from Washington, Michigan State, NAU. He's got an offer from Arizona Christian, just one of the many playmakers for Saguaro head coach Jason Mons. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1 from the Higley 45-yard line. Massengale's going to keep it, works the left side. He gets brought down. Great play there for the Knights. And it's the senior middle linebacker, Cade Matthews.
They ran a quarterback counter there. You pull the right guard and right tackle. You kick out with the guard, turn up with the tackle, and you're open. Massengale can find a crease there, but give a lot of credit to Matthews. 20 tackles already on this season.
And interesting right there, Massengale has committed to go to Air Force. Cade Matthews has got an offer from Air Force. Could be teammates next season up in Colorado Springs in a big 4th down decision here at the Higley 46-yard line. Looks like the Sabercats are going to go for it. You like this early play here, Dale?
Well, it looks like they're going to let the clock run down and have a decision to make here. Talk it over on the sidelines. Do I like the decision?
Would you go for it?
I don't know what the decision is yet, Chris, so I can't say that I like it.
Would you go for it? Would you go for it?
I would probably go for it, Chris, yes. So we'll see. I mean, again, you got a young Sabercat football team, and as we talked about, you want every possession to end with a kick. He didn't say turn it over on 4th down. You are on your side of the 50. How much confidence do you have in your defense? All those things are going to go into this decision, but it does not look like they're going to bring the punt team out. So either going for it or they're going to do one of those pooch kicks with Massengale.
And they're going to break from the timeout. Let's see what Jason Mons and the Sabercats come up with here. And they're going to have 2 wide receivers at the top of the screen, 1 at the bottom. It's going to be a handoff to Josiah Bradley. 1st down, Sabercats and more. Bradley working the sidelines, gets it down to the 30-yard line. Big 4th down conversion for Saguaro, a gain of 17 for Bradley.
Bradley, 221 pounds, very patient. Looked like Higley had numbers right at the line of scrimmage. You see him bounce it outside, lower the shoulder there at the end. Nice job of running that offensive line, blocking down on the left side, finishing blocks.
Bradley had 3 touchdowns in the meeting against Higley last year, and off to a great start here. Massengale rolls right, has a receiver, hauling it in and making the great grab right there is the senior wide receiver, Zach Wilson.
You see some of the averages for some of these Saguaro players. Wilson averaging almost 15 yards every time he catches the ball. You can see the athleticism of Max Massengale, the quarterback rolling out to his right, throwing the ball with a lot of accuracy on the move.
Take a look at the Higley defense. Cade Matthews, the guy to keep your eye on, the middle linebacker for the Knights. And talking with head coach Eddie Zuby, it sounds like Matthews is going to be spying on Saguaro quarterback Max Massengale for a good part of the night. So that'll be a fun matchup to watch. 2nd and 2 for the Sabercats. Massengale finds his receiver. It's Wilson again. Tries to find some room to run and does. 1st down Saguaro at the Higley 10-yard line.
And so many things can happen. You go for it on 4th down, you make that decision. Saguaro picks it up. Now they're down inside the red zone. You can see this offense starting to gain a little bit of confidence, and they're starting to click here early in this football game.
And it's going to be 1st and goal for the Sabercats from the Higley 10-yard line. Wilson goes in motion, catches it, plenty of room, picks up some blocks, touchdown Saguaro! Zach Wilson with the 10-yard TD catch. And the Sabercats strike with just 2 minutes and 14 seconds off the clock.
Well, Wilson will get credit for the touchdown, but tremendous blocking downfield by the receivers. Look at that hole just open up. Receivers a lot of times don't want to block. You see Green there, number 23. These Saguaro Sabercat receivers are going to block for their buddies. Really nice job downfield.
Joseph Zepp on for the extra point. And it is good. So with 9:46 remaining here in the first quarter, it's the Sabercats who strike first. They lead Higley by count of 7-0. It's a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. We'll be back with more right here. Game time on YurView.
Ford was the only company that we really wanted to go with. Their reputation, the credibility that they have, Sanderson has that. Sanderson Ford does a really good job with their start team. They got with each one of my kids and sat in the car with them, went over every detail of the car. And for them to take the time with each one of my kids and go over every little detail in the car, that's pretty unique.
Ford, America's best-selling brand. Sanderson Ford, America's best-selling Ford dealership.
Refresh yourself with a Polar Pop Cup from Circle K. It stays cold longer, and we offer more choices than ever before. More choices like Powerade, vitamin water, iced tea, and full throttle. Ready for the best part? You can get any size foam Polar Pop Cup for only 89 cents every day. More choices than ever before. Talk about refreshing. More choices, most value. At Circle K.
Welcome back to the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView. Saguaro and Higley. And it's the Sabercats who are on the board first, thanks to the Zach Wilson 10-yard TD catch from Max Massengale. 9:46 remaining here in the first quarter. Chris Harris here along with Dale Hellestray. And on that opening drive for Saguaro, Max Massengale 4 for 5 for 38 yards, plus the touchdown to Wilson.
Well, a coach I used to play for named Jimmy Johnson in Dallas used to say every game comes down to 4, 5, or 6 plays, and which team makes most of those plays is generally the team that wins the game. Early in this football game, Saguaro picks up the first down on 4th down, went on to score a touchdown.
Good look at Max Massengale. He was a finalist last year for the Arizona Gatorade Player of the Year, which went to Higley running back Drayson Hall. As you take a look at Hall, back to receive the kickoff here. And Joseph Zepp kicks it away, and it will be Hall with the return. He's going to run into a bunch of black jerseys there, and the Knights will start from about their own 22-yard line.
Well, let's see how this Higley offense responds.
Here's your Jack in the Box starting lineups. Come try the new $3.99 really big chicken sandwich combo. Double the cheese, double the chicken, plus curly fries and a drink for only $3.99. Limited time only.
4 returning starters up front. Gianzero, the center. Jonathan, his twin brother. And left guard, playing right next to each other. Must be very cool for the family to come watch Higley play football.
Identical twins. Look at that right there. The Saguaro defense just swarms to the ball. And we've got a flag on the play coming in late.
Hey, unsportsmanlike number 7. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 7 of the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
And that's referee Tyler Caramelli. The umpire tonight's Todd Evans. The head linesman Nick Waring. The line judge DJ June. And the back judge Reed Brotherton. Your officials for tonight.
Got to give a shout out to Don Caramelli out here observing the game. Always says if you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out. Always appreciate that.
And I think there's pretty much a Caramelli on every single high school game here in the Valley. Isn't there by now?
There are a bunch of Caramellis. Always want to stay on the good side of the Caramelli family.
Absolutely. They've got some connections. I know some people. And it's going to be a pickup of a couple there for Higley. Drayson Hall with the carry. Lost the ball. But Higley is able to recover. Could have been a costly turnover here early on for the Knights. Spencer Brash throws it out in the flat. Nice pickup for the Knights.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how this Higley team responds. You know, you think you have Saguaro stopped. Defensively, they go down and score. How are you going to respond as an offense and as a football team? And talk to Eddie Zuby before the game, because I'm not so sure there aren't some teams in this state that are just intimidated by Saguaro.
3rd and short, the handoff. And picking up the first down is Drayson Hall. As we take a look at the Higley quarterback, the junior, Spencer Brash, talking with head coach Eddie Zuby before the game. Had nothing but great things to say about Brash. Unlimited potential, athletic, rocket arm. And he is extremely fast. And he's showing that speed right now, working the left sideline. Cuts it back. Still on his feet all the way down to the 20-yard line. Spencer Brash. A pickup of 34 yards for the junior quarterback.
Unlimited potential is how Coach Zuby talks about him. They're gonna go really quick.
Drayson Hall up the middle. Nice pickup there for the Knights. And we got another penalty on the play. Let's see what the call is.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense, number 52. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Penalty against the Sabercats, and that'll take the Knights all the way down to Saguaro's 6-yard line here with 7:53 remaining in the first quarter.
Del Saguaro coming out with aggressive attitude, and a couple of those hands to the face, sometimes hands just slip up. You just, I think more than anything, have to just try and make an effort to get them out of there. Most officials, especially early in a football game, will give you the benefit of the doubt.
First and goal from the 6 for Higley. Brash and shotgun. Fakes the handoff. Cut it inside is Drayson Hall. The ball gets loose. Higley falls on it, and it's going to be marked just short of the goal line.
Well, Drayson Hall listed at 5'8", 175 pounds. He can just kind of get in behind those offensive linemen. It's not like Higley's got a huge offensive line, but he is difficult to see.
And with a big push from the offensive line, Spencer Brash runs it in, and Higley answers right back.
You talk about answering as a football team. I think that's a really powerful statement for this Higley football team. Joe Ortiz, the offensive coordinator. You see the quarterback sneak here. Great movement interior of that offensive line. A couple GN0s. Dylan Walton getting pushed off the football, and Walton the only new starter on that offensive line.
And Higley goes for 2. With the unbalanced formation, Saguaro sniffs it out and gets the stop. 7-6 Saguaro. But credit to Higley and Spencer Brash as they came right back, marched the ball down the field to get the touchdown. And we have got 7:05 remaining here in the first quarter. Sabercats with the 7-6 lead. Well, let's recognize tonight's Vi Luna Scholar Athletes of the Game. Vi Luna, proud sponsor of student athletes in Arizona. It's great to have Janie and Bill Riddle and the rest of the crew from Vi Luna on sponsor of high school football this season. Joey Court from Saguaro has a 4.5 GPA, is a 3-year varsity player. He also plays basketball and will give baseball a go this season. He is the senior class president of the FCA and NHS clubs, as well as a member of the Student Support Brain Tumor Research and House of Tutors. Joey volunteers this time for the city of Scottsdale, youth sports, Special Olympics, and Feed My Starving Children. Colin Reish has a 4.78 GPA at Higley. He's a 2-year varsity player and also played basketball and ran track. Colin's the secretary of the NHS and is an RHO Capper Honor Society, a social studies club. He also has 100 volunteer hours so far. And we've got a break right here, going for the touchdown, running away from everybody. Saguaro touchdown. Jacob Pettyjohn, the brother of Logan Pettyjohn.
You talk about just taking the wind out of somebody's sails, and that's what the Saguaro special teams did. Look at the blocking up front. Really nice one move to your right, stick that left foot in the ground. You see him get the ball in the outside hand, really well coached, and nobody in a white jersey even in the frame.
A 96-yard touchdown return, Logan Pettyjohn. Check that, Jacob Pettyjohn, just a sophomore. Extra point is up, and it is good. So how about that? Now it's Saguaro special teams putting points on the board. Sabercats now with the 14-6 lead.
Really nice response, as we said, from the special teams. And again, if you're Higley, when you talk about what you're going to do to win the football game, you're talking about control the line of scrimmage. Don't want to have any turnovers. Well, I think that goes along with you don't want to have big special teams plays, especially kickoff returns. You just drive the ball down, you put points on the board, you're back in this football game. And again, another gut check in my mind for this Higley Knight football team led by Spencer Brash.
Saguaro with plenty to cheer for early on here in this game. Now we touched on off the top, Dale. Saguaro came into this game having lost 2 in a row. The last time that had happened was in the beginning of the 2015 season when they lost to Centennial and then Pinnacle. So this is a school that's not used to losing too many games, let alone back-to-back games. And they have responded nicely here early on in the opening quarter against Higley. Great kick, going to be fielded just inside the goal line. Drayson Hall tries to find a crease down the middle, but he is going to get brought down by number 44 for the Sabercats, Clayton Randall.
Really nice job by the kick cover unit for Saguaro, because Drayson Hall, you give him a crack and he is going to make you pay. So now let's see what the Saguaro defense can do. Again, couple 15-yard penalties on them for post-play penalties. A little jacked up. You're on a Friday night, want to set things right if you're the Sabercats, but you have to play from snap to whistle.
Drayson Hall had 6 touches on the opening drive for the Knights, and they fake the handoff to Hall. Making a run is Spencer Brash. Terrific run there by Brash, the quarterback for the Knights.
Well, he's one of those guys, 6'4", 190 pounds, and he's skinny. I mean, you're a college coach looking at him. He's got a nice arm, very athletic. I can see him at about 220 in another couple years. See the fake the handoff, nice read. You're just reading the defensive end, and whatever he does, you do the opposite.
Handoff, Drayson Hall cuts it back to the inside, gets brought down. Another big pickup here for the Knights. Drayson Hall, 25 yards.
That offensive line doing some nice work up there. As you see, Drayson Hall doesn't even get touched till he gets to the 3rd level.
Hall once again up the middle.
You know, you look at this offensive line from left to right, you go, 205 pounds, 215 pounds, 220 pounds, 175 and 200. And they are doing a nice job against that bigger, stronger Saguaro defensive line.
And that Higley offensive line, one of the stronger parts of the team. They returned 4 of 5 starters from last season, as we have a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to go against Saguaro.
Right of the snap, encroachment, defense number 52, 5 yards.
Jaden Swink probably could have called it on any one of the 4 Saguaro down linemen as they all moved on the shift by Higley.
Spencer Brash on another keeper. This time the Saguaro defense makes a stop. Take a look now at the Saguaro defense.
Well, now watch this formation as we see Brash go out wide left, and look who is going to take the snap from quarterback.
Wildcat formation, and it's going to be Drayson Hall. And Hall's going to keep it, works the right side, cuts it back in. Josiah Bradley meets him, forces him back inside, and makes the tackle.
One thing that's always neat to see from Drayson Hall, whenever he gets tackled, he's always falling forward for that extra yard and a half. So many running backs you see get hit, they go backwards, but Drayson Hall strong, low center of gravity, legs always churning.
Hall gained almost 2,300 yards last season, 29 touchdowns, and he had 11 games where he went for at least 100 yards. He is an absolute force for the Knights. Spencer Brash tries to break the tackle, but for the Sabercats, making the play is Brian Miller.
Saguaro brings a blitz, gets some pressure, nobody open down the field, and on a third down situation, protection is okay to start with, nowhere to go with the ball. Remember, once you start getting inside that 20-yard line, the field really shrinks because defensive backs don't have to worry about getting beat deep. So some of those windows that open up out in midfield close very quickly down in the red zone.
4th and 7, Higley going to kick the field goal. A 30-yard attempt goes off the upright, no good. The kick is no good. And that is the senior for Higley, Henrik Normell. Now Normell, he's an exchange student from Sweden. Now he played soccer in Sweden, had never kicked a football until a month and a half ago. Head coach Eddie Zuby said he's getting better all the time. And Normell actually lives with the family of Spencer Brash, the quarterback for Higley.
Those are the little things. Again, you drive the ball down the field, you're about to answer Saguaro's kickoff return for a touchdown, and you miss a field goal. How is your psyche going to be if you're this Knights defense?
So the Sabercats take over from their own 20-yard line. Massengale rolls right, finds his receiver, Zach Wilson.
Just so hard to defend. Saguaro makes you have to defend the entire width of the field, and they have those playmakers that can beat you deep. You just slide the line to the right. Massengale very comfortable rolling out to his right, throwing the ball accurately, and it's a very easy 6-7 yards.
Wilson already with 4 catches for 37 yards on the night. And it's going to be another first down and more for the Sabercats. With the carry is the senior, Lorray Lucas.
Lorray Lucas, you can see another low center of gravity kind of guy. He just can really make it difficult to get him down on the football field.
Lucas is an absolute load. 5'8", 198. He can squat 465 pounds 2 times. Very, very strong man. We got a flag on the play. As we await the call.
Illegal shift on the offense, number 88. It's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So that'll push the Sabercats back 5 yards. So that'll bring up first down and 15 for the Sabercats from their own 34. Trips right for Massengale. Looks left though, has his receiver, Pettijohn. Oh, not able to haul it in. Massengale a little upset with himself. Pettijohn was open.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here as a late flag comes in after the ball was dropped. So you're going to see him come into your screen from the left there. Ball that he's going to usually catch, and looks like they're going to get late hit.
After the play, dead ball, personal foul, number 21 of the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty. Yardage is enough for a first down.
So a big penalty against this Higley defense.
It's against Adrian Eastman. Had 63 tackles last year, basketball and track guy. Let's see what happens here. You know, and it's one of those things that unnecessary, didn't need to happen, but not vicious enough, I believe, for a 15-yard penalty.
Sabercats going 49. Finding Wilson on the sidelines, cuts it back in, still on his feet. Look at Zach Wilson go, working the right side. Still going, Zach Wilson, a terrific catch and run for the Sabercats. Pickup of 39 yards.
Wilson, 6 foot tall, little over 200 pounds, but my goodness, is he tough to get on the ground. Looks like it's just going to be a little 7-8 yard gain. Breaks 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3 tackles. Then look at the speed, turns on the burners. They have an angle on him. Does a little stutter step, breaks another tackle. I think 7 Higley defenders had a chance to get him down on the ground.
And Wilson told me his favorite player is former Saguaro great and current Texas A&M star Christian Kirk. You showed a little bit of flashes there of Christian Kirk on that catch and run as you see his season numbers.
Yeah, came into the game, as we said, almost 15 yards per catch. That's a really nice average after 3 football games.
And Wilson's got offers from Princeton, Penn, Air Force, UNLV, and he's drawn some interest from ASU as well. 2nd and 12, but we're going to have a penalty before the snap.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense, number 56. It's a 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Well, that's Matthew Hicks. He's one of them that's going to kind of be going both ways for Higley. You wonder, does fatigue become a factor as this game goes along for that Higley defensive line?
Right side, trying to break through for the touchdown, but getting dragged down is going to be number 23 for the Sabercats. That's Braden Green, the junior.
6'3", 170 pounds. Saguaro, Coach Mons knew they had a young team replacing a bunch of guys from last year. They graduated 30 players, 8 Division I kids, 18 players last year. Had offers to 4-year schools, and one thing that Charlie Regal was in Chaparral, Jason Montier, you know, the D1 guys, the 5-star guys, I could coach that. It's when you can get some of those smaller schools to give your kids scholarship that I appreciate.
And getting the touchdown here for Saguaro, another guy that's getting recruited by 4-year colleges, is the senior running back, LaRay Lucas. Sabercats score once again.
You see him kind of hiding in behind that defensive line. And again, when you are, you know, 5'8", 5'9", you're getting in behind 6'3" guys like that. It's just really difficult defensively to even find him. And then when you find him, he's got a full head of steam and a low center of gravity.
Extra point, it's up, and it is good. And Saguaro extends their lead thanks to the LaRay Lucas touchdown. And Sabercats lead 21-6.
That offensive line pushing white jerseys off the ball. You know, you sit here, Ruben Pimbert, the center, only returning starter, 5'10", 250-pound senior, kind of the leader on offensive line. Always snapping the ball in shotgun formation.
LaRay Lucas, an interesting story. Now, when he was growing up in Portland, Oregon, celebrating his 4th birthday at his house, there was a driver that came through his chain link fence, hit a dumpster, and the dumpster fell on LaRay. It trapped him underneath the dumpster, his right arm, and he lost his middle and index fingers on his right hand. So he just has 3 fingers on that right hand. I asked him, you know, how difficult is it for ball security to carry the ball in that right hand? He said it's not that bad. When he grew up, remember those squeeze grips, Dale? When we were kids, trying to make stronger? He said he worked those things forever. Made his hands and strength very, very strong, helping him carry the ball in that right hand. Drayson Hogg, beautiful play there. Sabercats on the kickoff coverage, making the play. Number 8, Connor Solie.
You got to really tip your hat to this Saguaro team. The kickoff coverage has been tremendous. As you see the hand that you were talking about there from Lucas LaRay. Scores a touchdown, and now again, gut check time for Higley, 21-6. Need to drive the ball down the field a little bit. Need to give your defense a little bit of rest. You need to come away with some points on this drive, or this is one of those games that, boy, you have a turnover here or 3 and out, this thing get out of hand in a hurry.
Knights with 1:30 remaining here in the first quarter. that run is not going to go anywhere. And on the tackle for Saguaro is number 43, Cameron Smith, the senior. He's got an offer from Arizona Christian.
6'2", 215 pounds. And looks like that Saguaro defense kind of settling in a little bit. See if Brash can't make a play.
Brash drops back. He slips, trying to make a run out of the pockets. And he's going to go down. And right there to help make the play, Cameron Smith once again.
Cameron Smith coming from top of your screen there. Obviously a blown blocking assignment by that Higley offensive line, coming in absolutely untouched and not giving Brash a chance to even survey downfield before he had a duck for cover.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 16 with 30 seconds remaining. Hand off to James Maggio, and he gets bottled up. This time in on the tackle for Saguaro is the junior middle linebacker, Clayton Randall, 3-year varsity performer. He's been playing on the varsity since his freshman year. And talking with head coach Jason Mons, he could be the best middle linebacker Saguaro has had during Jason Mons' time. And remember, he had Brant Casey here the last few years. So that's some pretty heady stuff there coming from Jason Mons. And that will do it here for the opening quarter. The big 4A clash between Saguaro and Higley. And it is the Sabercats leading the Knights by a count of 21-6. You're watching Game Time on YurView.
Come on, buddy, you can do it. Oh, man, this is still going to be on.
Looking for a real good time? Come to Red Devil, where old traditions become new. Whether it's a special occasion or a night out on the town, Red Devil will meet all your dine-in and take-out needs at a price that's hard to beat. Red Devil, starting a new tradition.
Game Time on YurView, Thursdays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Via Luna, proud sponsor of student athletes in Arizona.
If you're thinking about coming back to school, you probably go online and check out schools in the area to find out which one best suits your needs.
At AAI, we invite you to visit our website at aai.edu and check out the career training we offer in skilled trades.
You can navigate the website, check out our campus, hear from our graduates, and better understand the commitment we have to our students.
Our website is full of great information that can help you make an informed decision about your future. Check us out at aai.edu or call now.
Let's take a look at our Phoenix Children's Hospital Sports Medicine Injury Report. Specialized care for young athletes from first assessment to follow-up. Arizona's only comprehensive sports medicine program for young athletes, only at Phoenix Children's Hospital. You can see Logan Maxwell is out for tonight's game with a rolled ankle. Jason Harris out for the regular season, but Eddie Zuby's hoping to have him back for the playoffs. Higley set to punt from the home end zone. And it will be Spencer Brash, the quarterback, who's also the punter for the Knights. Brash with a low liner. Making the catch is Logan Pettijohn. Tries to work his way to the right side and finds some blocks. Nice pickup there by Pettijohn. Gets it back to the Higley 38-yard line. And Pettijohn, he had a 75-yard punt return for a touchdown against Catalina Foothills in the first game of the season. So he gets it done at wide receiver as well as special teams for this Sabercat team.
You look at this Saguaro team and obviously getting into their comfort zone. that out-of-state competition, I think, really toughened this group up, showed what they needed to work on. As Coach Mons had said, a lot of it was just little things. Needed to take care of little things, mostly in practice. He saw great strides from game 2 to game 3, and so he's looking to build on that as the season goes along.
And they definitely had an excellent first quarter to get things going here tonight. Massengale rolls left, finds his receiver, and it's gonna be Zach Wilson once again making the catch. And there is certainly a comfort level offensively for the Sabercat team when you look at these guys, because Max Massengale, Logan Pettijohn, and Gio Miranda, along with Wilson, they have all played together since 6th grade.
Well, you can see the arm strength there for Massengale. We've seen him roll out to the right a number of times, throw that ball out in the flat, and now we've seen him roll to his left and throw the ball equally as well.
Massengale with the handoff up the middle. With the carry is Josiah Bradley. Bradley's another one of those big-time recruits for the Sabercats. He's got offers from ASU, U of A, Cal, Louisville, Nebraska, Utah, Washington, Washington State, Iowa State, and Oregon State.
So I'd just say that's a number of offers from the Pac-12, the Big 12, the ACC. A lot of guys coming and taking a look at Josiah Bradley.
Fake handoff. Massengale with the keeper up the middle. Pickup of 4 for Massengale.
And you can see this offensive line getting a nice little groove. You can just see the offense settling in. And if you're Higley, you need something good to happen defensively. You need a turnover. You need to punch the ball loose. You need to do something to get your team back in this football game.
Massengale threw for almost 2,300 yards last year and ran for over 1,000 yards. Certainly a dual threat quarterback for the Sabercats. Max drops back, it's chased down from behind, getting the sack for Higley. Number 87, Ty Robinson.
He's only a junior, 265 pounds, great burst off the edge, 2 sacks early in the season. See him come from the top of your screen as, you know, he's sitting there working on for Saguaro, number 74, and I'm looking for 74, and I'm not sure if that's Ty Kaysen, but I don't think it is. No 74 on my roster. Is there 74 on your roster?
No 74 on mine either.
So the secret weapon for Saguaro.
The unknown player, Massengale out in flat. Josiah Bradley turns it upfield. It's it down inside the 25, but it's going to be short of a first down.
Josiah Bradley got up a little. He went down kind of funny there and came off. Not sure if there's an injury or not, but just kind of went down awkwardly at the end of this run and ended up coming out after this play. Let's see if there's maybe that knee or ankle.
And it's going to bring up 4th down for the Sabercats. They go for it and pick up the first down. Massengale to Wilson.
Not a whole lot more you can do if you're Adrian Eastman there. I mean, the 6'2", 290-pound senior was right there, shadowing Zach Wilson, and still Saguaro was able to execute and pick up the first down.
And you can see why Massengale likes heading Wilson's way. Wilson is fast, runs great routes, great hands, and he is physical as well. And picks up another first down for the Sabercats. 9 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
See them just pound the ball, and again, you got a young offensive line. You got a couple guys who haven't played very much, and they're only going to get better as this season goes along. See number 54 right there. That's McInerney, 6'3", 221-pound senior. We talked about the center, Pimbert, 5'10", 250 pounds.
Trips right from Sabercats. Massengale looks like he tried to throw it, then lost handle of it. It's going to be ruled incomplete.
And that certainly looked awkward. And number 87, Ty Robinson, was right there.
Could have been a dangerous play there for Saguaro. As you see Massengale looked like he wanted to throw it and he wasn't sure about that.
Well, that hand was coming forward, and Higley kind of sniffed out the play, and a couple white jerseys right there where he wanted to throw the football.
3rd and 8 Sabercats. They got trips right. Lone receiver up top is Pettijohn. Massengale gets the play in from the sidelines. Massengale throws it middle of the field, has receiver, touchdown Wilson, but we do have a flag on the play. Let's see if the touchdown stands for the Sabercats.
Looks like the Saguaro coaching staff isn't very happy, but we'll see if this does go against Saguaro.
Illegal shift on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So that will wipe out the touchdown for Saguaro. That'll be 3rd down and 13 for the Sabercats.
Boy, you could just see, you mentioned it earlier, but Wilson and Massengale, they are just, it's almost, what's that word, telepathic? I mean,
something like that.
Something like that.
In sync.
It's probably too big of a word for me to try and use, but you can tell that they're in sync and feel very comfortable together on the football field.
I like that. 3rd and 13, Massengale. Boy, it was just a jailhouse break there for the Higley defense, and it's Cade Matthews who gets to Massengale first.
Boy, just a good-looking high school linebacker, 6'1", 220 pounds. Senior, looked like Saguaro was trying to set up a little bit of a screen, and as an offensive line, you still have to put your hands on the defender. You can't just let him run straight past you. You got to slow them down a little bit, and then on top of that, Higley brings the blitz, and Matthews is able to get there.
Matthews was all-state, all-region, and all-academic last year. And also last season against the Sabercats, he had a huge game with 12 tackles and a pair of sacks. We got another one right there for Higley. 7:25 remaining 2nd quarter. Sabercats leading 21-6, and they're going to punt this one away. Line of scrimmage is Higley's 35-yard line. Got a whistle down on the field.
For 16, it's a 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Push the Sabercats back 5 yards.
Also looks like the wind's blowing a little bit out there. Maybe a storm's moving in, but we're in the nice confines of probably one of the best press boxes in the state of Arizona. Air conditioned, comfort of Saguaro Stadium.
Joseph Zepp punts it away just inside the 20-yard line, and we've got our meteorologist up here in the booth, Beth Pockman.
And it looks like there's some red and yellow, and I know that's not good. Green is okay, that's just rain, but kind of on the outskirts coming towards Fountain Hills and maybe a little bit towards Scottsdale. You see the wind out there, probably going to play a little bit of havoc as this game goes along. And you know what? Brand new turf field. If it just rains, not going to affect much. The only thing you're hoping for is lightning doesn't come moving into the area.
So this field and press box a little bit different than Mr. Holstrader's roaming the fields here, huh?
Well, back then I didn't care, number one, about the press box. I just cared about how tall this stadium was. Coach Kelly used to make us do stadiums, running up and down these things. Now I can barely walk up and down. But one of the nicer stadiums, I believe, in Greater Phoenix area. And,
absolutely.
And we always and we can wave and over there, but really appreciate the air conditioning and the way the Sabercats people take care of us when we're here.
Absolutely. And we've got 3rd down and 1 now coming up for Higley. They run that up-tempo, fast-paced offense. Talking with head coach Eddie Zuli, they want to snap the ball as quick as possible. And Brash fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it. And a great job making the play behind the line of scrimmage for the Sabercats is the junior Connor Soley.
Soley doing a nice job. Another one of those smart kids, 3.75 GPA. And That's what it's one thing to keep going at lightning pace if you're picking up first downs and moving the ball, but boy, you're going lightning pace, and then you take a minute off the clock and give the ball right back to a dynamic offense like Saguaro. You're not doing your defense any favors.
And Solei's brother Kyle played his first 3 years at Notre Dame and then at Saguaro last year, and Kyle's now redshirting at ASU in this season. Brash gets the punt away, and a beautiful punt. Picking it up on a return for Saguaro is number 19, and that is Khalil Ringo, the sophomore. But a terrific punt there by Brash, flipping the field.
That punt looked like it was into the wind, or it might be swirling down there, but one heck of a punt and good coverage. And again, it's 21-6. For some reason, you're kind of sitting here and it seems like it's almost one of those 31-0, 31-3 type of football games. But again, as I said on the previous drive, something good has to come from this Higley defense to get that ball back with some decent field position for their offense.
And a great job by our camera crew getting shots of how the wind is wreaking havoc there in the stadium. And off to the races here for the Sabercats. A nice pickup is the quarterback, Max Massengale.
Well, that's the thing when you look at this Saguaro offense. There's just so many weapons. You take away one, then Massengale keeps the ball. If you try and key on Massengale, he hands the ball off. He can throw the ball, he can roll right, he can roll left. Just a dynamic athlete and a really good quarterback.
And Massengale is part of a long line of dual threat quarterbacks at Saguaro over the past decade. You know, you remember Tim and Teddy Rubin, Luke Rubenzer, all guys that won state titles. Massengale got one last year as well. Inside handoff, Lucas, and he's going to get stuffed by Higley's defense. No pickup on that play.
And that's the thing, if you sit here and look at Higley's defense, they'll make a play. I think it's not just the Higley defense, but these teams in Arizona, you can make a play or maybe 2 plays. But it's so difficult to make 3 plays and make this Saguaro team have to punt.
4:45 remaining here. Second quarter, Saguaro leading Higley 21-6. Chris Harris here along with Dale Hellestray. 2 receivers to the right. Inside handoff, and the Knights defense steps up once again, and it's Cade Matthews making another big play for Higley.
Well, he's the captain of this football team. He makes all the defensive calls, athletic. He can make plays in space. You see his toughness inside, and like I said, 6'1", 220 pounds. That's a really, really nice size for a middle linebacker.
3rd down and 11 for the Sabercats from their own 34-yard line. Massengale looks downfield, tries to find his receiver, making a run. Going in the catch. What a grab. Logan Pettijohn. Let's see if they're going to give it to him, and they're not, but a terrific effort by Pettijohn, who lays out, but not able to make the catch.
Really nice throw down the field, just a deep post route. Obviously, we can't see from here. Maybe a little better angle. Maybe the nose of the ball touched the ground before he had possession, but working one-on-one against Hubbard and just outran him to the post.
Terrific effort there by Pettijohn, trying to come up with it. Pettijohn, big play receiver, extremely competitive, tough, and he has got great instincts as well. Joseph Zep back to punt here for the Sabercats. 4th and 11. 3:54 remaining here for the Sabercats. 4th and 11. 3:54 remaining here. In the second quarter, Zep gets it away. Gets a nice roll. Go out and about and leave Higley 35-yard line. Let's now hear from Higley head coach Eddie Zuby talking about the Saguaro football program, just how good they are.
This is the program that people in our division strive to be. They've won the last 4 in a row. I come from greatness at the high school I went, De La Salle. I completely respect it. It's something that we strive to be. So it's a great measuring stick for us, you know, to go up against them. It's something that we look forward to. And, you know, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
Good look at Eddie Zuby and Daly touched on off the top of the broadcast. You know, he played at De La Salle, a school that won 151 games in a row, a national record. And Coach Zuby was there for the first 36 of them.
Always nice when you can leave with the streak intact and you know it's going to end at some point. Just don't want to happen on your watch.
And we've got a delay of game on Higley.
That's got to be so frustrating. I mean, it's a change of possession. It's not like you threw a deep pass and maybe the receiver didn't get back. Those are the ones that will drive you crazy as a coach.
Trips right for Higley. Brash looks left though. One-on-one coverage. He's looking for Jason Hall, the speedster. Not able to haul it in, but great coverage there for Saguaro by Brandon Shivers.
Brandon Shivers, 6'1", 175-pound junior, running stride for stride. And looked like there was a little incidental contact down the sideline there. Nice job by the officials, allowing them to just play a little bit of football. Grayson Hall watching a little too much of the NFL, standing up with, looking for the flag.
Higley with 2 passes on the night and 18 runs. Brash rolls right, tucks it, tried to find some more yardage on the ground, no pickup. Saguaro's defense is there once again to make the stop. And coming up a little slowly is Josiah Bradley, and Daly touched on earlier. Bradley came up a little limp earlier on in the game as well.
Yeah, I don't think that's the same limp. I know that limp, and that's not a knee or an ankle, but it looks like he's going to be okay.
But ever as painful, no question about it. 3rd and 10, 3 minutes left. Brash tucks it again, and he's going to get right up the middle. Clayton Randall with the big stop. And we touched on how Randall might be the best middle linebacker that Mons has had, but baseball might be Randall's best sport. He's been on the varsity since his freshman year, and he's already got interest to play baseball from University of California, Santa Barbara, as well as New Mexico.
Those 2 middle linebackers were Saguaro, Soli, and Randall, both juniors.
And it's time to take that Circle K Polar Pop timeout. And we'll step aside with the break as well. Saguaro leading Higley by count of 21-6. You're watching Game Time on YurView.
Refresh yourself with a Polar Pop Cup from Circle K. It stays cold longer, and we offer more choices than ever before. More choices like Powerade, vitamin water, iced tea, and full throttle. Ready for the best part? You can get any size foam Polar Pop Cup for only 89 cents every day. More choices than ever before. Talk about refreshing. More choices, most value. At Circle K.
Are you talkies enough?
Capital of Iceland.
Reykjavik. R-E-E-Y.
Whoops.
Talkies. Taste the fury of our flavors and face the intensity.
Welcome back to the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView. Higley at Saguaro, big 4A clash, and it's the Sabercats leading the Knights by a count of 21-6, 2:43 remaining here in the first half.
Well, Saguaro, just like a good aggressive football team, what they're doing is calling a timeout. They knew that Higley probably try and run that 25-second clock all the way down and take as much time off the clock as they could. They want all 2 minutes plus, see if they can't score one more touchdown before the end of the half.
Spencer Brash back to punt. Gets it away. Logan Pettijohn. Just going to let this one bounce. And it will be down at the Saguaro 29-yard line. That's where the Sabercats will take over with 2:30 on the clock. A punt of 35 yards for Brash.
You can tell that this Saguaro Sabercats special teams is coached very, very well. They call out whatever their call is to get away from the football. Guys get away from the football rather than walking next to it, where it can take a bad hop, bounce off you, create a crazy turnover. So you can just tell they're very well coached special teams wise.
Trips left for Maxingale. Shotgun. He's going to keep it. Tries to spin out of the tackle, but can't. And it's Cade Matthews once again making the tackle for Higley.
Now he's going to get credit for that. Nice job by that defensive line. They run that counter action. And then it's up to Massingale whether he decides to give the ball or keep it. But you can see right there, really nice job fighting off the block of Koziol, the tackle from Saguaro. Cade Matthews in the backfield.
And it's going to be trips left again. Single receiver to the right for the Sabercats. Lone setback. Massingale drops back, scrambles, and he's going to get brought down. Huge play there by the Knights defense. In on the tackle for Higley, and making the play is going to be Jordan Gianzero along with Ty Robinson.
Well, Gianzero did a really nice job with an inside move on the right tackle. Koziol puts pressure on Massingale, breaks down right at the quarterback, so Massingale can't get outside of contain, gets him on the ground. And again, now you're bringing up a 3rd down and 17. Can this Higley defense get off the football field on 3rd down?
And it's another Circle K Polar Pop timeout. And let's now hear from Saguaro head coach Jason Mons talking about this Higley Knights team.
They feel like they're title contenders this year, and probably rightfully so. They've got talent, the returning state player of the year, and I know they're excited for us, and we're excited for them as well. And I think it's a chance for us to make a statement that we're still the top dogs in 4A, but you can't talk about it. You got to be about it, and that's what we said on Saturday, and that's what we're going to work for this week.
3rd down, Sabercats. Massingale rolls up in the pocket, finds his receiver, Pettijohn, sheds a tackle, looks to break another, doesn't, but he does pick up the 1st down.
Wow, just a great individual effort there by Pettijohn, fighting through tackles after making the catch, but what a nice target. Stepping up in the pocket, ball's thrown a little bit behind Pettijohn, catches it with his hand, is still able to pick up the 1st down.
1st and 10 from their own 40, Sabercats. And that pass is going to fall incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 with 1:25 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Saguaro leading Higley by a count of 21-6. Sabercats trying to extend this lead before halftime. Saguaro with 2 receivers up top, 2 receivers at the bottom. Empty backfield. Massingale in shotgun. Looks down the middle of the field. Tries to find his receiver, Zach Wilson, but just overthrows him.
And that's the thing with the Saguaro offense. They're capable of scoring from anywhere on the football field. You kind of hold your breath. You know, if you're Sean Potter, the Higley Knight defensive coordinator, even though you might be in the right defensive coverage and have everything shut down, Saguaro still has guys who can make plays, and 60 yards can be covered in a hurry.
We look at Jason Mons, head coach for Saguaro. He helped coach the offense in the Army All-American Bowl last year and was also the 16 and under USA head coach that played at Cowboys Stadium last January. Let's see if we can dial up here for the Sabercats with 1:18 remaining 1st half, 3rd and 10. And it looks like
snap, delay game, offense number 4. It's a 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So they'll push Saguaro back another 5 yards with the penalty.
And obviously the coaching staff a little bit frustrated, but what's 5 yards at this juncture for the Saguaro Sabercats?
Well, it could be more, depending on what this flag is for.
Prior to the snap, full start on the offense, number 7. It's a 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Now that will probably get their dander up a little bit as it brings up 3rd and about 20. And again, if you're Saguaro and Jason Mons, you don't want to make a mistake and give Higley the ball with still over a minute left here in this first half with good field position.
We see Saguaro with 9 penalties for 66 yards here in the first half. We're hoping your Saguaro will clean that up a little bit in the second half. 3rd and 20. Sabercats from their own 30. It's going to be 2 receivers up top for Saguaro and 2 receivers down at the bottom of the screen as Max Massengale waits for the call in from the sidelines.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what they're waiting on. Looks like the officiating crew's looking at the clock.
Trying to get the game clock straightened out. And getting it done, doing a great job over there is Mike Harris.
Oh, brother.
Longtime operator of the clock here at Saguaro. Nice pick up there for the Sabercats. Logan Pettijohn. Nice pick up there. It's going to bring up 4th down and 9 for the Sabercats from their own 41-yard line.
Been a whole bevy of Harrises that have come through Saguaro High School, huh?
There's been 5 of us.
Got my tail whipped by one of your brothers. I don't know where he falls in the totem pole.
He would be number 3.
Number 3. The former athletic director at Desert Mountain and Mountain View, Steve Harris, one of the all-time great basketball players here. Although he was talking about his football career with Coach Keller back in the mid-70s.
Steve got some things done with football and basketball and track. He's a terrific all-around athlete. And now we're going to hear from current Saguaro head football coach Jason Mons talking about winning 4 straight state titles.
For some of these younger guys, they haven't been a part of any losses. And we tell them, hey, you don't just show up and put the jersey on and teams roll over for you. You know, if anything, it's the opposite. You show up and put that jersey on and you're going to get everybody's best. Whether it's schools in this state or it's schools out of state, that, you know, they hold you in high regard because of some of the things that we've accomplished. So really, until you get punched in the mouth, it's just talk. It's just coaches telling you, you know, they might just think it's coach speak, but you go out and you play teams and you see how hyped up they are to play you and how hard they play you for 4 quarters, and you realize, hey, this is a big deal.
And getting the punt away is Joseph Zepp, and it's a good punt. Going to get the nice roll. And that ball will be down at the 22-yard line. And along with what Saguaro head coach Jason Mons was saying there, Dale, you know, every year is a different year.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You see the state championships there. Obviously, a whole bunch of them, especially, you know, from about 06 on. But he's right. You know, you got a bunch of young guys. You lose 30 seniors from last year's team, guys who've been through all those battles, and they're gone. Who's stepping up? I know he still is looking for a couple more guys in that locker room who can step up and be those leaders that you need when things are tough.
Now we'll bring up now 1st and 10 for Higley from 22, 58 seconds remaining. Roush fires it across the middle, making the catch. Jason Hall still on his feet, bouncing off some tackles, gets it out to the 48-yard line. Nice pickup there for the Knights with 51 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Now it looks like Cuevas, Antonio Cuevas is down, number 5. He collided with one of his teammates in Grayson Hall. You see that great balance. He just splits the Saguaro defenders. They both hit him. He keeps spinning and gains another 7, 8, 9 yards. What great determination by Grayson Hall.
There's Cuevas, happy to see him walking off the field under his own power. He had a huge game last week, 18 tackles against Salt Lake City East. Knights 1st and 10, firing across the middle. Brash, another first down for Higley, down to the Saguaro 40. Clock stops with 38 seconds remaining. It was Jackson Gibbons with the catch. Brash under center, he's going to just spike it here to stop the clock with 36 seconds remaining in the first half.
You see that arm strength on Brash, and That's, again, what Eddie Zuby was talking about before the game. He said, this guy's got unlimited potential. Baseball player in track in the spring, strong arm. We've seen him run with the football, as I talked about in that first quarter. 6'4", 190 pounds, and he's skinny.
Brash, 2 receivers right, 2 left, drops back, looks down the middle of the field. Dodson runs away, left side. Tries to get away, making the tackle, though, is Logan Pettijohn. Pettijohn working offense and defense here for the Sabercats.
A lot of Saguaro Sabercats going both ways. And, at times when you go against bigger, stronger teams, you're going to wear down in the second half. But tonight, a nice, cool night. These guys should be just fine playing in their 4th game.
Take a look at Spencer Brash right there, the Higley quarterback. He had 5 touchdown passes against Cottonwood Mingus. And you touched on how he's a 3-sport star, baseball and track. In baseball, he's a pitcher. In track, he runs the 400 meters and 4x400 relay. Also does the triple jump, and he competed in all 3 of those events at state last year as a sophomore. And University of Houston came after him as soon as they could per NCAA rules for football earlier this year. I know Eddie Zuby is extremely excited to have him at quarterback, and it's what a luxury it is for him to have Brash after having Mason Croston as his quarterback the last few years who graduated.
Well, you can see they can move the ball through the air. Saguaro probably playing a little softer defense, a little bit of a quasi-prevent defense, but Brash able to find some holes underneath those zones.
Brash with 7 yards passing in the first 5 drives of the game. 38 yards passing on this drive. He's running right. Finds his receiver and throws a strike. Hits the receiver, and it's going to be Jackson Gibbons with his 2nd catch on this drive.
Just shows you the whole package right there. Gets pressure from his backside. Rolls out to his right. Gio Miranda, a 6'4", 215-pound do-it-all athlete for Saguaro, chasing him down, able to throw a bullet with great accuracy.
18 seconds remaining, first half, 1st and 10. Higley from Saguaro's 25. And they trail 21-6. Brash, middle of the field, slipping and falling down with the intended receiver, Drayson Hall.
That's one negative I could think of if I'm trying to throw the ball to Drayson Hall. You're trying to drop it over linebackers. You see Clayton Randall there. He's 6'2" tall. Sol Lee, he's 6'1". Safety Nate Polk, 6'2". And you're trying to drop it over guys in front of the deep safeties, and you're trying to hit a 5'8" target.
14 seconds remaining, first half, 2nd and 10. And we're going to have a timeout on the field. The Sabercats will take it. So we're going to have a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. Big drive here for Higley, 21-6. Knights trying to get some more points on the board and make it a 1-score game going in at halftime. Now the Knights, they're an offense. They're used to putting up some points on the board this year. They're averaging 62 points a game this season. Now granted, it's only 2 games, but they've been lighting up the scoreboard, but only 6 points here tonight so far.
Well, and obviously the competition's been a little bit different, whereas Saguaro's played a couple, top 25 teams in the country early in this season. Higley's competition hasn't been quite as good as that.
2nd down and 10 from the Swirl 25. 2 receivers left, 1 up top. Brash drops back, tries to get away, trying to break the tackle, but a great job hanging on is Gio Miranda, the weak side linebacker. And that will do it. The time is going to run out. No timeout there. Half is over. And a great job there by the Saguaro Sabercat defense. And it is halftime here at Saguaro. Sabercats leading 21-6.
I do a lot of online shopping. I read a lot of reviews. Read the reviews on Sanderson Ford. I think you'll be pleasantly pleased. Everybody that's come through there is extremely excited when they walk out of Sanderson Ford, and I think if you go and look at their reviews, it's going to tell you that they're first-class service. They go out of their way above and beyond to make that customer happy, and you couldn't ask for any better company than Sanderson Ford.
Ford, America's best-selling brand. Sanderson Ford, America's best-selling Ford dealership.
Whenever a craving hits, Jack's got your back.
Somebody craving my really big chicken sandwich?
The really big chicken sandwich combo for $3.99. Double the chicken, double the cheese, topped with Higley smoked bacon, plus curly fries and a refreshing drink. All for just $3.99. Thanks, Jack.
You're welcome.
The $3.99 really big chicken sandwich combo. Only at Jack in the Box.
Coming back to school is a big decision, but at AAI, we're with you every step of the way.
We offer career-focused education in skilled trades, and we work with you from the day you enroll through graduation to the ultimate goal of helping you move into the career of your dreams.
Now, if you're wrestling with the decision to come back to school, you may only see the obstacles in your way. We'll help you remove those obstacles one by one and get you where you want to be.
Check us out at aai.edu or call now and come visit with us.
Students, parents, and employees recognize Higley High School for its academic excellence and close community that values quality education. Higley High School aims to provide a learning environment where students positively impact the world. Students find opportunities for leadership, growth, and service every day. Educational programs include rigorous honors and advanced classes, including more than 24 dual enrollment courses where students can earn college credit while they finish their high school diploma. Students can also choose career and technical education in film, graphic design, sports medicine, engineering, and marketing. These classes provide training in future job skills, including collaboration and communication. The athletic program at Higley High School gives students opportunities to compete at a high level on more than a dozen teams, including unified sports. Join us today at Higley High School, united in excellence and honor.
Welcome back to the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView. It's halftime here at Saguaro, and the Sabercats leading the Higley Knights by a score of 21-6. Well, Saguaro came into tonight's game with a 24-game winning streak versus Arizona Schools. Their last loss came against Pinnacle on September 4th, 2015, just over 2 years ago. Now, while that streak is quite impressive, there's another streak, a more substantial one, the Sabercats are chasing this season. Saguaro has been the most dominant football program in Arizona over the last decade. The Sabercats have won 9 state titles in the last 11 years.
When I look at a state championship, I think it was a mandatory thing here at Saguaro.
You want to be in a program like that. You know, that's where Chandler is right now. That's where Hamilton's been for a long time. And that's where Centennial's been for a long time. You know, you want to have that program where kids that come to school to play football at Saguaro come here to win state championships. And that's what they expect to do. And
this season, the boys in black and gold are trying to do something that no school has accomplished in the state's history: win 5 consecutive state championships. The only other 2 schools to win 4 in a row are Flagstaff in the early 1980s and Lakeside Blue Ridge in the mid-1990s.
That's our goal. So we've been thinking is draft for 5, so we got to make it happen. It's up to us. Pressure's high, but it's really good pressure to have. When you come out on top of the gold ball, it's really nothing. It's like nothing else. So it's worth it. Every bit of the grind's worth it when it comes down to it. So
they represent the guys that were part of the 4 before them, and everybody's a part of that. You know, if we get it done this year, it's not just this year's team that did it. It's everybody else, these last 4 teams that came before them that are a part of it too. So
last season's undefeated team was loaded with talent. 18 players received offers to 4-year colleges. Many perceive this year's group to not be quite as deep and strong as previous teams.
What's driving us the most is everyone's doubting us this season because we don't have the size or maybe the recruiting level that other teams have had in the past, but I believe that we'll get it done.
We don't have as many seniors as we did last year, So the seniors are playing big roles, but then the young guys have also stepped up. So us, the seniors, as we leave, we know that the program will still be in good hands for the next couple of years.
The Sabercats had a combined record of 53-3 the previous 4 years to go along with the 4 gold balls. All the while, the message has remained the same.
Just making sure that you're a good teammate, that really rubbed off on everyone last year, and everyone was really good friends, and so that really helped out with the success that we had.
We really are asking these kids not only to be great football players, but also to be great people and you know, represent our program in the school and in the community the right way. We're really proud of the group of kids we have. They're learning accountability, they're learning work ethic, they're learning about character, and when you're a part of something and you're driven and you're willing to make sacrifices and to work, it brings the best out of you.
Well, the last time this Saguaro senior class lost a game they played into an Arizona school was the last game of freshman football season when they lost to Higley. Saguaro quarterback Max Massengale was knocked out of the game in the first quarter with a broken collarbone, and Higley went on to get the victory in that game. And welcome up to the booth. I'm happy to be joined right now by Joel Kosman, Executive Director of Arizona Automotive Institute. And I understand, Joel, you played some football back in the day. Does it bring back some memories being here at the game?
It absolutely does. It's nothing quite like Friday Night Lights.
Now, we understand you've got some kind of connection here at the high school, training, meeting people, looking for a career. What's it mean to you to be here?
Well, you know, when folks look at something to do after high school, traditional college isn't always for everyone. So what we offer in the trades is an option for folks to get out there, work with their hands, learn a great trade for a wonderful career.
And what are some of the classes that AAI offers?
We offer automotive service technology, combination welding, diesel heavy truck, and HVAC.
Now, what type of industry trends are you seeing that shows the demand for your students and AIA's training?
Well, what we find is over the next decade, all of our programs will be on the increase according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So if our graduates want a job, there's a job out there for them.
Now, what would you like people to know about AAI that might surprise them?
Surprise them? I think the first thing would be that we have about a 6% female population. We're hoping that grows, but it's not just for the boys anymore. All of our trades are great for our ladies, and we've attracted quite a few women. I'd love to see that continue to grow. The other thing that's a nice surprise is we have about a 30% population for veterans, and that includes a 40% population for our instructors who are veterans and served in the armed forces.
Well, that's a great thing you guys are doing with that. What kind of support do you guys offer with financial aid and job placement?
Nearly 90% of our students receive some type of financial aid. So that's a pretty solid number if you really think about that. So they are getting that assistance. Also, when our students graduate, we have job placement assistance for them. But not just when they graduate. We'll help students when they're going to school if they need to find a job. Once they graduate, of course, to place them in a job. And if they need a job 6 months, 6 years, 20 years later, we'll still help them out.
Well, speaking of graduation, I understand it's a bit of a family affair here for you tonight. Your wife graduated from Saguaro High School.
Yeah, she sure did. I won't tell you how many years ago because I still married to the lady, and I just want to stay married. So just a couple of years ago.
Smart man, Joel. Good move on there. All right, it's Joel Kosman, Executive Director of Arizona Automotive Institute. Appreciate your time so much.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.
All right, we come back. We'll have highlights and stats from the first half. You're watching Game Time on YurView. Saguaro leading Higley by a score of 21-6. We'll be right back.
Refresh yourself with a Polar Pop Cup from Circle K. It stays cold longer, and we offer more choices than ever before. More choices like Powerade, vitamin water, iced tea, and full throttle. Ready for the best part? You can get any size foam Polar Pop cup for only 89 cents every day. More choices than ever before. Talk about refreshing. More choices, most value. At Circle K.
When the day turns into night, my hash browns turn into my new $3 Munchie mashups. Crispy hash browns, tasty white cheese, mashed up with your choice of savory egg and bacon, buffalo chicken and ranch, or jalapenos and bacon. Each for just $3. Why? Because everything gets more interesting at night. Vampires wake up, werewolves come out, and the boogeyman gets his boogie on. So try my delicious $3 Munchie mashups and keep the party going until the sun comes up. Ooh, $3 Munchie mashups from Jack in the Box.
for a real good time? Come to Red Devil, where old traditions become new. Whether it's a special occasion or a night out on the town, Red Devil will meet all your dine-in and take-out needs at a price that's hard to beat. Red Devil, starting a new tradition.
Welcome back to the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView. Chris Harris here along with Dale Hellstray. It's halftime at Saguaro, and the Sabercats are leading Higley by a count of 21-6. Red Devil Italian Restaurant. Remember, Red Devil Italian Restaurant is your place for authentic taste of Italy. 3 convenient locations around the valley. They have the best pizza, pasta, and wings around. Mention the YurView High School Football Game of the Week and get 15% off your order. Family owned since 1960. And welcome back up to the booth. Chris Harris, Dale Hellstray. Dale, Sabercats up 21-6. Your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I think both teams probably went in the locker room saying we left some points on the board. You know, Higley had a chance early to shut Saguaro down. They weren't able to. But yeah, it's 21-6. You're a play away from being right back in this game. If you're Higley, if you're Saguaro, you're saying, you know what? We did have some chances. We didn't take advantage of all of them.
Well, let's take a look at how this first half unfolded with the highlights in this matchup. And it's the Sabercats who open things up. Zach Wilson with the touchdown to get things going for Saguaro. And then it was Spencer Brash following that big offensive line for the Knights. Answers right back for Higley.
And then Higley went for 2, was stopped, and then Saguaro comes back, and again, the kickoff return. Tremendous blocking up front, really untouched into the end zone.
Jacob Pettijohn, the sophomore, getting it done on special teams for the Sabercats. And then it's Drayson Hall, the big-time back for Higley, with a nice run there for the Knights. And then here it is, Wilson once again working his way all the way across the field. Another big pickup there for Wilson. Terrific first half there for Saguaro, the senior wide receiver. And as LeRae Lucas just powers his way in for the touchdown for the Sabercats.
Nice job by that defense getting through there on a third down situation and getting their ball back to their offense and having a chance there down the stretch. But again, you see a chance
Are you going
here
to stats next?
in the second quarter. Nice layout, almost came up with the catch. You see the stats there. You know, the passing yards in Saguaro's favor, rushing yards in Higley's favor. But, you know, you just take a look. One thing Saguaro really probably keep a close eye on, the penalties. 9 for 66 in the first half. They need to cut those down.
Saguaro with the 21-6 lead over Higley. We're going to step aside for a quick break. You're watching the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView.
Come on, buddy, you can do it. Oh, man, still with me on
Looking for a real good time? Come to Red Devil, where old traditions become new. Whether it's a special occasion or a night out on the town, Red Devil will meet all your dine-in and take-out needs at a price that's hard to beat. Red Devil, starting a new tradition.
Refresh yourself with a Polar Pop Cup from Circle K. It stays cold longer, and we offer more choices than ever before. More choices like Powerade, vitamin water, iced tea, and full throttle. Ready for the best part? You can get any size foam Polar Pop Cup for only 89 cents every day. More choices than ever before. Talk about refreshing. More choices, most value. At Circle K.
Are you talkies enough?
Capital of Iceland.
Reykjavik. R-E-E-Y.
Whoops.
Takis. Taste the fury of our flavors and face the intensity.
Welcome back to the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView. Saguaro leading Higley by count of 21-6, one of the many big-time matchups taking place here tonight. Here are this week's Arizona Automotive Institute top games of the week. AAI, turn your dreams into reality with career training from AAI. How about that Mountain Point Chandler game, Dale? A rematch of last year's 6A state final.
Well, you got that. I mean, again, you look at all four of those games, and all four of them hold intrigue to different sets of people. Desert Ridge, Hamilton. Hamilton, obviously, really nice comeback from that opening week loss. And then, Mountain View and Pinnacle with Spencer Rattler, quarterback. Mountain View 2-0. Just a lot of fun matchups.
And Pinnacle, we will have next week as our national game of the week when they take on Centennial. Look at some of the rest of the matchups. How about that Liberty Sunrise Mountain game? That's always a big matchup out west. And then down south, Canyon Del Oro and Ironwood Ridge. That's always a big matchup between the Dorados and Nighthawks. And we now take a look at the National Game of the Week schedule. As we touched on, next week, we've got Pinnacle and Centennial. Next Thursday night, that's going to be a huge matchup there between the Pioneers and Coyotes.
Bunch of good games across this fine land.
Another big national game on the schedule there. On October 12th, we're going to have Desert Ridge and Mountain Point as well. Well, all Game Time high school football games stream live each week at YurView.com. Also, check back throughout the week for game highlights and additional coverage, including the new weekly high school football recruiting podcast, Over the Middle, with host Jeremy Crabtree. So the Sabercats with a 21-6 lead over the Higley Knights. It's time now for the good folks from Red Devil Italian Restaurant. As always, take great care of us. They have the best pizza, pasta, and wings in town at their 4 locations. Mention the YurView High School Football Game of the Week, and you'll receive a 15% off your order. Here's tonight's Red Devil delivery of the game, family-owned since 1960. And you can see the Swirl cheerleaders are fired up about it. And we got some people up here in the booth who are just as excited about that pizza.
I think I actually did a better dance than they did when they brought the pizza up here. Red Devil, one of my favorite restaurants in the valley. Awesome, awesome food. And a guy who brings the food up to us, I mean, the guy works his tail off. He's up and down. I mean, this home stands on Saguaro's field. It's not a little cupcake, 10 rows deep. It's very, very tall. He came up and down a few times to bring enough pizza to feed all of us.
And he's been our guy all 3 weeks so far this season, so we definitely appreciate Red Devil Italian Restaurant. See the Sabercats there. They came into tonight's game 1-2 on the year. And you touched on it, Dale. Sabercats head coach Jason Mons, he likes to play those tough games early to see just where they stand as we take a look at Saguaro quarterback Max Massengale. And we touched on it off the top. He's going to be playing at Air Force next year. And Massengale told me he wants to fly jets and planes. He told me he loves the adrenaline rush. His favorite movie, Top Gun. He said he's a big fan of Maverick. As we take a look now at the Saguaro Sabercats schedule. You saw those 2 out-of-state games at Liberty in Nevada, and they played Salt Lake City East High School here. Take a look at the rest of their schedule. The Sunrise Mountain game should be an interesting matchup against the Mustangs.
Well, I think if you're looking at this objectively, you're thinking tonight's going to be their biggest test of the regular season remaining for the Sabercats.
The Swirls got to feel pretty good about themselves after that first half, and Jason Mons has got to be happy about the way his team responded coming off those 2 losses and playing a tough Higley team here tonight.
Well, again, I think both coaches see some positives there in the first half. I think they also see a lot of room for improvement. You mentioned the Saguaro penalties, a couple opportunities for Saguaro to tack on another touchdown or 2, and Higley has had a chance, and their offense, starting here with the ball, needs to take this ball and drive it down the football field.
And it'll be Joseph Zepp, the kicker for the Sabercats, to get things going, start the second half here. I had a chance to talk to Joseph Zepp before the game, and he loves this new turf field. He said it makes the footing a lot better for him as a kicker as opposed to what they had in the natural grass field earlier. A lot more comfortable in getting that plant foot down to kick it away. And that was Drayson Hall on the return for Higley.
All the Scottsdale high schools will have field turf in, I believe, by next year. And my goodness, I mean, you just look at how far this field, this stadium, this campus has come over the years. They've maintained it in spectacular shape, the Scottsdale Unified School District.
It looks absolutely terrific.
I might even be fast on that.
Don't push it.
Okay.
That might be asking a bit much. You might shave that 40 time a little bit, Mr. Morris.
I actually like the muddy field because if you're not athletic, then you don't lose any athletic ability.
There you go. There's no letting up on the swirl defense here in the opening play of the second half. And in on the tackle, big number 66, Michael Ma'afu. Now, this is a guy who played his freshman and sophomore years at Arcadia. He sat out last season to focus on playing for the United States under-18 national rugby team. He played fullback in rugby, and he traveled around the world, playing in places like Ireland and Australia. Very impressive athlete for the Sabercats. And he's drawn some heavy interest already from colleges. And Coach Mons, he just put out Ma'afu's game tape this week because he didn't play last year as a junior. He's already heard back from U of A, Colorado, Nevada, and NAU. Those schools wasted no time on the senior nose guard, Ma'afu.
Well, you can tell the athleticism, the toughness, and obviously you're playing rugby. You know, football players, we all like to think that we're tough guys. You really got to be tough to play rugby. And he's able to be athletic enough to do that. And, you know, he's 260 pounds. He's another one of those guys, 260 pounds. He looks skinny.
Penny, here comes the outlet.
Moves very, very well. The best word that Mons used to describe my thought was disruptive. He's come out and made a couple of plays here to start the second half. Brash finds his man. Hall dumping it underneath, but the Saguaro defense is waiting for Drayson Hall, and they make the tackle on the senior running back.
Well, I'm sure Drayson's saying, hey, you know what, if there's one guy I can make him miss or run around him or through him, but when there's 3 black jerseys waiting for me as I catch the football, difficult to do anything with it.
And it's going to be a big 3 and out from the Sabercats defense, forcing the Knights to punt with just over 10 minutes remaining here. Nice job there to field the punt by Spencer Brash. Gets it away.
Let's go!
It's going to go out of bounds. Let's see where the officials mark it. And they keep running towards midfield. It's being marked out at the Higley 49-yard line. An 18-yard punt.
Well, I did a nice job getting the low snap, but kind of rushed a little bit. Looked like Saguaro was going to be rushing that punt. They're actually trying to set up a return, so there wasn't as much pressure, but you don't know that as the punter.
Great field position for Saguaro. 2 receivers to the right, 1 up top to the left. Single set back. Josiah Bradley fakes the handoff. Massadale looks down the field looking for Wilson. Nice job defensively there for the Knights, and making the play is the senior cornerback, Danny Kittner.
Nice job running step for step. The 5'11", 184-pound senior. You can see working against Zach Wilson. Looks like they're trying to get a safety over there to help, but able to reach in there and knock it away. Wilson trying to pick up where he left off after that tremendous first half.
The senior cornerback, 184 pounds, 5'11". Two receivers to the right, one up top again. Massengale rolls right. Looks for his man, Wilson falls incomplete.
Well, that might be the worst throw we've seen from Massengale tonight. And again, they can complete a 5, 6, 7-yard out route about any time they want to, because what Saguaro can do to you, they threaten you deep. So if you're Adrian Eastman and you're covering Zach Wilson, well, you know, he can plant that foot and keep going up the field, and you don't want to give up a home run ball.
Massengale, two receivers to the right, fakes the handoff to Bradley, steps in the pocket, down the middle of the field, has the receiver, making the catch. Logan Pettijohn, touchdown, Sabercats.
Well, and I think you're going to see this when we look at it on replay. A nice one-handed catch in stride by Pettijohn, the senior. We talked about that target. He loves to run these post routes right across the middle of the field, able to reach out with that left hand, and his right hand never touched the ball until he'd taken 4 or 5 steps.
49-yard one-handed touchdown catch by Pettijohn. Set on for the extra points. Kick is up and it is good. So with 9:40 remaining here in the third quarter, Saguaro scores once again. Sabercats lead 28-6. It's time for a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. Stay tuned for more game time on YurView after the Circle K Polar Pop timeout. Massengale, Pettijohn, Sabercats strike again.
Looking for a real good time? Come to Red Devil, where old traditions become new. Whether it's a special occasion or a night out on the town, Red Devil will meet all your dine-in and take-out needs at a price that's hard to beat. Red Devil, starting a new tradition.
What makes even better than other schools is that it's very hands-on, and the teachers, you can tell they really want to teach. They love teaching their students. The people who work here really care about what they're doing.
Welcome back to the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView. And it is Saguaro thanks to the Logan Pettijohn 49-yard touchdown catch. Sabercats lead the Knights by a count of 28-6.
And it was just, again, a really nice route. You can tell that Pettijohn feels very comfortable going across the middle. And reaches out with those soft hands, catches it with his left hand, and that's when you can tell, does a guy have good hands or can he just somehow catch the ball into his body, off his shoulder pass. Pettijohn made a couple nice catches like that tonight, just really soft hands, and I continue to go back to 6'3" target makes it so much easier on your quarterback.
It's a great security blanket to have if your quarterback Max Massengale, as Logan says hello to the fans at home. Enjoying his game here so far. And Sepp gets it away. Making the return here is James Maggio. Going to get brought down. Down at the 22-yard line. In on the tackle for the Sabercats is Alani Ma'afu, the younger brother of Michael Ma'afu.
A lot of young Saguaro players getting game action, and you're going to see them, become better as this season goes along, and look forward to the next couple of years.
So Higley takes over from their own 22-yard line. Drayson Hall with the direct snap, turns it upfield, tries to break it free, but can't, gets brought down. Drayson Hall trying to get things going on the outside. He's got that track speed. He runs the 200 meters and 100 meters in track ran a 10.75 100 meters, finished third at state last year, so he can really run. Ball once again with the direct snap. He's going to get bottled up by that Sabercat defense.
Trying to run that counter play with the Wildcat offense, and it doesn't really matter to me whether it's Brash back there, a quarterback, or whether it's Drayson Hall lining up behind center quarterback. This Saguaro defense, you can tell, is gaining more confidence as this game goes along.
Trips right for Brash. One receiver to his left. 8:35 remaining third quarter. 3rd and 7 for Higley. Brash looks right, has his receiver. Making the nice catch is Drayson Hall. Picking up the first down for the Knights to keep the drive alive.
Nothing coming easy for Higley. I mean, this is a bullet. I mean, he has to fire it in there between two Sabercat defenders. Somehow Hall comes up with the catch, the ball, and the first down.
Drayson Hall, he was a USA Today Sports preseason All-American team selection as Spencer Brash breaks it to the right side, and he gets brought down, making the play, the sophomore quarterback, Kali Ringo. And we spoke of the speed that Drayson Hall has. Kali Ringo finished second in the 100 meters with a time of 10.56 at the U.S. Track and Field National Championships as the Junior Invitational. So he has some big-time wheels, just a sophomore. 2nd and 8. Brash tries to find Jackson Gibbons. Gibbons looking for a flag and finally gets it, a late flag thrown. Looks like it'll be against the Saguaro defense.
Gibbons being a good sport, running about 40 yards to go get the ball that flew over his head.
19, 15 yards, first down.
So that'll be a first down for the Higley Knights as we take a look at the penalty.
Going a little seam route, you can see hands on him. The thing that's frustrating is Ringo had him completely covered up. There's no reason to put your hands on him and even make the official have to think about a decision.
Trips formation, bound the screen. Inside handoff, though, to be made by Maggio. Pickup of 3.
Well, you look at Maggio, averaging almost 10 yards per carry coming into the game. Almost 32 yards on his 4 receptions coming into the game.
Well, look at the penalty swirl, 11 for 86 yards so far here tonight. Bunch formation, trips down at the bottom of the screen. Single receiver up top. It's going to be inside handoff, and making the play there for the Sabercats is going to be Brian Miller, the junior linebacker.
A lot of underclassmen you're calling out for the Sabercats. Pretty big collision right in the hole there. Nice job by Brian Miller coming up there being physical, but then you got to give Maggio credit for spinning and gaining extra yards.
And it's going to be Maggio once again up the middle. He's going to be brought down close to a first down. But it looks like it's going to be marked short of a first down. And check that, there's going to be a fumble on the play. The Sabercats recover. It looks like it's going to be Gio Miranda in on the play for the Sabercats.
That's the second play in a row that Maggio's put the ball on the ground. Ball gets punched out right there. It looks like Cameron Smith, I believe, comes up with it for Saguaro, number 43, as the ball is going to come back towards him, bouncing between linemen's legs, and an offensive lineman laying on the ground going, why is everybody jumping on the back of my legs? And there happened to be a football back there.
So big play there by the Sabercats defense as they take over at their own 40-yard line. 6:25 remaining third quarter. Maxendale looks, has his receiver. First down, Zach Wilson hauls it in.
Zach Wilson just having himself a whale of a football game. But look at this throw. Steps, fires into it, right on target. Very good coverage by Kittner out there. Just better execution by the Sabercats.
2 receivers to the right, 2 up top. Single set back for the Sabercats. Maxendale looks to the sidelines for the play call. Wilson's number's been called quite a bit tonight. Inside handoff, a huge pickup here, Josiah Bradley. And it looked like he was a little banged up there in the first half, but he looked okay there on the run, but now he's coming up a little slow once again.
Yeah, it looks like he might have tweaked that ankle or that knee, or he's giving us a little Earl Campbell here, same numbers, see him burst through the hole, and then Earl would always come up limping and limp back to the huddle and then come back and run you over and all that, but it looks like it might be a little ankle or knee, nothing too serious, we hope.
1st and 10, Sabercats from the Higley 35. Massengale keeps it, goes to hurdle the defender. That doesn't work, but able to still pick up the first down, a pickup of 15 for Massengale.
Kidner came up to make the tackle, and I think that Massengale thought he was going to go low, and Massengale had this all planned like he was doing the high hurdles, and actually that was number 17, Fonsbeck, Mason Fonsbeck, the 6'2 senior. You're not jumping over 6'2", that's for sure.
Nice pickup, though, for Massengale. The officials are going to talk some things over here.
I wonder if they're thinking that's a penalty.
Personal foul, hurdling, number 4 of the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty, still first down.
Now, is it a hurdling penalty if you didn't go over the defender?
I think he could have said attempting to hurdle. But in high school football, again, player safety's involved. They discourage, even if the guy's kind of going at your knees, to hurdle.
He's bringing up those legs and feet up awfully high. So, as you mentioned, Dale, it's all about the safety here. So that'll push the Sabercats back. They have the ball now at the Higley 35-yard line. Making it first down and 11 for the Sabercats with 5:20 remaining here in the third quarter. Massengale breaking out of the pocket, has room to run, bounces out to the left side, picks up a few blocks, and it's going to be a first down Sabercats. Massengale showing some speed.
Well, some speed, some elusiveness, but this is what's going to really frustrate you if you're that Higley defense. Dylan Pedersen there had a chance to get the sack, and you let him escape out of your grasp and picks up the first down.
Sabercats, single receiver to the right. It's going to be a jet sweep on the handoff, and turning the corner, Zach Wilson. He's going to hurl the defender, gets into the end zone. Let's see if there is a penalty flag for hurdling on this play.
Looks like they're going to mark him maybe on the 3-yard line. You step out of bounds going down that sideline.
And that's where the officials got him marked out as we take a look at the replay.
Look at this burst by Wilson to the outside. And can't really see that. Coming right into your living room. This is what Wilson looks like going full speed. Still can't quite see it. And in my mind, that would be considered hurdling.
Well, he actually went over a defender that time, which would be hurdling. And we do finally get the touchdown for Saguaro. And it's going to be LeRae Lucas, his second touchdown of the night.
Boy, he's just perfect for these goal line situations. That low center of gravity, strong, tough to get on the ground, just gets in behind that offensive line and keeps those legs churning into the end zone.
And Lucas, he's got an offer from Arizona Christian, and I'm sure he'll be popping up on the radar of some other colleges as the season rolls on. Joseph Zepp with the extra point. It is up and it is good, and Saguaro extends their lead to 35-6 thanks to the LeRae Lucas touchdown run with 4:57 remaining here in the third quarter.
Well, that's what good football teams do. Defense forces a turnover, offense takes advantage or puts the ball in the end zone. Just good old-fashioned power. You pull the backside guard. McInerney leads up the way, and Lucas LaRue just follows in behind him. They run this offense so very, very well.
Here's a good look at the senior running back. He transferred in from Red Mountain last year, set out the first 5 games of last season. He's made his presence felt here for the Sabercats during his senior year. As we now take a look at the Division IV rankings And it is Saguaro up top and Sal Point Catholic, who gave the Sabercats a tough game last year in the state semifinals. And then we've got Higley. So we got our two teams here tonight at 1 and 3. And you got Larry Feckenheier. He's got things going again for the Cobras at number 6. And Catalina Foothills, Jeff Skern getting things done again down in southern Arizona with the Falcons team who we had in the state championship last year against the Sabercats. It's been all Saguaro here so far with 4:57 remaining third quarter. They lead Higley by a count of 35-6. Getting away is Zepp, and on the return is James Maggio. Tries to find a hole up the middle. And he gets bottled up by a bunch of black jerseys.
Well, and that's the key here on this kickoff cover unit. You can tell the hunger in that unit. At the end of every play, it seems like there's at least 5 or 6 black jerseys around the ball carrier. Everybody running the football with bad intentions.
So this Higley offense will take over from their own 28-yard line with 4:48 remaining here in the third quarter. And we've got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 2 backs, and Brash is going to go under center, or attempt to, before the officials are going to have a Saguaro timeout. And as Saguaro calls the timeout, let's now hear from Higley head coach Eddie Zuby talking about what he's hoping to see here as a successful season for his night team.
This is the program that people in our division strive to be. They've won the last 4 in a row. I come from greatness at the high school I went at De La Salle. I completely respect it. It's something that we strive to be. So it's a great measuring stick for us, to go up against them. It's something that we look forward to. And, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
Eddie Zuby's team looking to challenge Saguaro, but it's been a tough road to hoe here so far here tonight, Dale.
Well, I think he'll be the first to tell you they haven't played as well as they possibly can. I think that's something that gives you hope if you get to meet this Saguaro team again. But I think the scary thing is this Saguaro team, as young as they are, they're only going to get better as the season goes along.
Brash has got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 2 backs. Brash was going to fake the handoff. Looked like a broken play there, a little miscommunication. And Brash is going to get bottled up, and making the play for the Sabercats on defense is number 87, Quentin Somerville, just a freshman. Making the nice play there for the Sabercats. And Saguaro head coach Jason Mons made a point to mention Somerville to us before the game. Making a nice play there. 2nd and 11 for Higley. 2 receivers to the right and left. Handoff up the middle. And falling forward is Drayson Hall, dragging a couple of Sabercat defenders with him.
Well, you see number 87 there. You talk about some young guys for Saguaro. Quentin Somerville, a freshman, 6'3", 210 pounds. You see the tackle here. Great instincts. Remember, a true freshman. There's no red shirt in high school.
And Brash is running away. Makes a terrific pass and making the catch. What a play there for Higley. Nice play there by Brash. Breaking away from the Saguaro rush and firing a dart to get a completion for the first down.
Well, tremendous catch. He kind of threw it into a bunch of black jerseys, and somehow a white jersey caught the football and picked up the first down.
That moves the chains. Higley now to the 39. Faking the handoff, keeping his Brash. Now the pitch outside. Drayson Hall, little stutter step, breaks free down the sideline, cuts it back in before being knocked down at the 35-yard line by Gio Miranda. But a nice pickup there for 26 yards by Drayson Hall.
You can see that explosion when he gets a little bit of daylight, running the good old-fashioned triple option, running down the line. You have 2 guys who carry the football. You stop Cuevas in his tracks, and then you have that explosion have to be tackled by Gio Miranda.
Hall got offers from U of A, Army, Navy, Air Force, amongst others. Fake handoff, Brash keeps it, and he gets thrown to the ground. Gio Miranda with the play for the Sabercats.
See that Miranda, you can move him all around the football field. He's 6'4", 215 pounds, physical, athletic. And that's a point where Drayson Hall needs to, actually not Drayson Hall, but Maggio needs to stay in that pitch position so you have that extra option as you're coming down the line when you're the quarterback.
Miranda, another guy with a ton of offers, including Army, Navy, and Air Force. 2nd and 11, Higley. And it's going to be James Maggio, and he's going to be brought down. Once again, a bunch of black jerseys in on the tackle, including Michael Ma'afu, as well as Jaden Swink.
Again, Saguaro's defense doing a really nice job staying at home. The thing when you run all this misdirection is if, as a defender, you don't do your job, you try and do something else, that's when they can make you pay.
And they're going to get the clock going there. It's going to be trips left, single receiver up top on 3rd and 11 for Higley. Brash in shotgun. Looks left, scrambles left, tries to find a receiver downfield, goes up top, has his receiver, but just throwing over the outstretched hands of his man, Jacob Rowland's going to fall incomplete to bring up 4th down.
Good job, again, buying time, a little bit of pressure from that Saguaro defense, but you're rolling to your right, trying to get those shoulders turned around so you can throw the ball with some sort of accuracy. Josiah Bradley on the coverage, and that's a long time and a long distance to cover these receivers.
4th down for the Knights, 11 to go. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, single setback. Brash in shotgun. Looks left, looks for his receiver. Instead of looking for the ball, looking for the call is Jacob Rowland. And there is no flag, and Higley will turn it over on downs.
Rowland 6'1", 151 pounds, and going against Brandon Shivers, 6'1", 175 pounds. A little contact down the field, and like the way that the officials are refereeing this game, you got to allow a little bumping going on down the field. You can't call everything ticky-tack. And again, I think some of these high school players, they get so used to watching the NFL, and these NFL receivers are turning into soccer players and think anytime somebody blows on them that they should have a 15-yard penalty for pass interference.
So you're saying they're part-time actors? Is that what you're alluding to there?
Yeah, or soccer players.
More pitch and catch for Massengale and Pettijohn. It's going to be a pickup of about 8 on the play. Pettijohn's helmet came off, so he's going to have to take a play off. High school rules.
And running everything off of play action, you have options as a quarterback, different reads. You read one guy, and if he's one place, you hand the ball off. He's another place, you throw the ball down the field. You can't be right on defense.
Swirl looking for the play. Max Massengale, 2nd down and 2 from their own 44-yard line. Carry up the middle, going to be marked just short of a 1st down. On the carry is LeRae Lucas. Here's a look at Max Massengale. He's kind of a bit of a renaissance man. He plays the guitar, and he's got a custom Gibson Les Paul. During the off-season, has a gig on Friday nights at the Sip Coffee Bar Garage in Old Town Scottsdale. He told me he likes to play classic rock, a little Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, and some Pink Floyd, but his favorite is In Excess. He said he's a big fan of the former frontman, Michael Hutchins. Jason Mons told me that he can really shred on the guitar. And this Saguaro Sabercat offense continues to shred the Higley defense. Ray Lucas on the carry, another 1st down for the Sabercats.
Just so hard to stop them on short yardage situations. As I said, you look at LeRae Lucas, and the average isn't quite there tonight, but he can score, he can pick up 1st downs, and so difficult to get on the ground.
Three receivers to the right for the Sabercats, one up top. It'll be a single setback. Massengale shotgun. Massengale fakes the handoff, keeps it left side, has room to run, turns the corner. Cade Matthews chasing Massengale down the sidelines. Huge pickup for the senior quarterback. It's going to be 33 yards on the carry for Massengale. Another first down for the Sabercats. And just under 1 second remaining here in the third quarter.
Well, Massengale, 185 pounds, finds an opening, explodes through it, and you see Cade Matthews coming all the way from the left of your screen. Look at that hustle play, 220 pounds, given every ounce of effort to try and catch up with Massengale.
1st and 10 from the Higley 19. Massengale's going to keep it again up the middle, follows his block, gets it down inside the 10, down to the 6, and that will bring to a close here the third quarter. And in a big 4A matchup, it is the Saguaro Sabercats leading the Higley Knights by counts of 35-6. You're watching the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView, the fourth quarter, when we come back.
YurView, Thursdays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Bahia Luna, proud sponsor of student athletes in Arizona.
Ford was the only company that we really wanted to go with. Their reputation, the credibility that they have, Sanderson has that. Sanderson Ford does a really good job with their start team. They got with each one of my kids and sat in the car with them, went over every detail of the car. And for them to take the time with each one of my kids and go over every little detail in the car, that's pretty unique.
Ford, America's best-selling brand. Sanderson Ford, America's best-selling Ford dealership.
Action.
Comedy. Horror.
Speak, find, feel. This is the all-new Contour from Cox. It's cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
Welcome back to the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView. The Saguaro fans and cheerleaders are fired up as their Sabercats lead Higley by a count of 35-6. And this Saguaro program, Dale, look at this. The previous 10, 11 seasons, 9 state championships in 11 years. The other 2 years, they went to the state quarterfinals. They've won 89% of their games and won at least 12 games in a season. 12 times.
Not bad.
That's okay, huh?
But we're talking about this year.
We are talking about this year now. Do you like what you've seen with this year's edition?
Well, you obviously got to be impressed. If Higley's the number 2 4A team in Arizona, then you're very, very impressed. I know they have them at 3 and all that, but as I talked with Coach Mons before the game, you know what? You go out and play really, really good competition. You lose a game early, it toughens you up as the season goes along. And who cares what your record is as long as you have the gold ball at the end.
Higley's defense stepping up, giving chase on Massengale with the sack, but we do have a flag on the play. See what the call is. Saguaro had 10 first downs in the third quarter and 175 yards of total offense.
Holding on the offense, number 68. That fouls decline. Third down.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Sabercats. Check that. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 16.
Prior to the snap, full start on the offense, number 72. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Well, and again, no coach will publicly admit it, but every coach would like to have something to work on. You've kind of had a dominant performance. You don't want your kids to start feeling too good about themselves. Well, they can definitely work on something. 12 penalties for Saguaro.
And on 3rd and goal from the 21, a big sack there for Higley. And making the play for the Knights is Jackson Solomon, the sophomore defensive tackle.
6 foot, 280 pounds, just bull rushing right up the middle. And it's just amazing to me, the size of these young kids. And again, kind of another probably blown pass protection there by Saguaro. But still, you have to go and make the sack against a very athletic quarterback.
Solomon now with 4.5 sacks on the season. He had 3.5 sacks in his very first varsity game against Mingus. 4th and goal. Massengale tries to get himself out of trouble, and he does. Before finally falling down. And Higley will take over on downs.
The one thing you know in Eddie, you know when you're talking about an Eddie Zuby coach team, the team's going to play hard. They're going to battle and battle and battle. You see those defensive linemen. You get exhausted chasing athletic quarterbacks like Massengale around, but the white jerseys are still playing hard.
And Jason Mons having a little conversation with his quarterback, Max Massengale. 99 yards rushing, over 200 yards passing. Some nice numbers there for the dual threat quarterback, although Mons has got a little teaching moment, let's call it, for the senior quarterback. 1st and 10 Higley from their own 27-yard line. Brash fires for his wide receiver, but falling incomplete, trying to find number 2, Austin Godfrey, the junior wide receiver. 10:30 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Chris Harris here along with Dale Hellestray. Sabercats leading the Knights 35-6. 2 receivers up top, 2 to the right. Brash looks left. Wide open, but dropping the ball, Austin Godfrey. Maybe he was too open.
Well, sometimes that's almost like, you know, in basketball, you're used to having contact as you're going up for a layup, and sometimes those wide open, nobody around you are the hardest ones to make. Same thing with a catch. You're used to having somebody right around you, and sometimes you just take your eye off the ball for a split second.
Tough break there for the Knights. Brings up 3rd and 10. Trips left, single receiver to the right. Maggio behind Brash, who's in shotgun. Maggio's going to try to scramble, but he gets brought down, and getting him at the ankles for the Sabercats is Jaden Swink, the junior.
Well, that defensive line for Saguaro bringing pressure, knowing you're up 35-6, and again, really athletic. Michael Mafu, we've talked about him. Ma'afu, we've talked about him a little bit, 260 pounds, but moves around like he's about 210 pounds. And again, you're a college looking at him, you see athleticism, you see his build, and you can see he can get a lot bigger. There was Jaden Swink. He's only a junior, and he's 250 pounds.
That swirl defensive front has got some size, no doubt about it.
Delay a game on the offense, number 13. It's a 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
That'll push Higley back another 5 yards. Spencer Brash, the quarterback, back to punt as we look at the penalties, Dale. How about Swirl? 12 for 91 yards. Brash gets the punt away. Taking it in off the bounce is Logan Pettijohn, going to try to make a play with this. Turns the corner up the sidelines.
Oh, there's the
call him
They called it dead, and I'm surprised that's not a penalty. I know at some levels it is a penalty and some levels not. He was waving his teammates off, looked like a fair catch signal. And if you're an official, I think you err on the side of it was a fair catch, as the Saguaro coaches question. Let's see what happens here as he's waving his hands. And, you know, again, whatever that motion is, you see the white jersey stop playing. So, again, good call by the officials. I think the Saguaro coaches will probably see that on tape and go, you know what? If a white jersey went and hit him, there'd be a 15-yard penalty on Higley.
I think Jason Mons just kind of wanted that rule clarified. Got the explanation from the officials.
And we talked about that. Saguaro does a really nice job communicating to, you know, the rest of their punt return team when it's a short punt. Get away from the football because you don't want it inadvertently bouncing off your leg.
Sabercats will take over from their own 35. Inside handoff, finding a huge hole. And on the run for the Sabercats is number 11, Noah Brooks. And then a fumble. And getting the return for Higley is number 21, Adrian Eastman. What a crazy play.
Well, I mean, it started out so good for number 11. Noah Brooks breaks out in the open. Got to make sure that you have that ball secure. Ball comes out. You know, again, if it's instant replay, you might go, hey, was the right butt cheek on the ground before the ball came out? But you don't have instant replay in high school. But nice job by Brooks jumping up and getting in on the tackle.
And there's Adrian Eastman, who gets the credit with the fumble recovery for the Knights. Eastman was second team all-region last year, got an offer from Arizona Christian. So the Knights will take over from their own 35. And it's going to be Drayson Hall, bounces to the outside. First down, Higley. Nice job there by the senior running back.
Yeah, you can see why he's in such demand. They just run a counter here. He bounces it outside. There's penetration inside. Again, Ma'afu was penetrating inside, so he bounces it outside.
Drayson Hall once again off to the races. He will not be caught. Touchdown, Higley, the 51-yard touchdown run. Drayson Hall.
Well, and that's what makes you the Gatorade Player of the Year. Just continue to play hard, find a crease, see that vision. Offensive linemen staying on blocks and keeping their legs churning, and then Drayson Hall does the rest. And it certainly looks like when he gets into the open field, you're not going to catch him.
And it's going to be Higley going for two. The unconventional formation in the middle of the touch end zone, making the catch for Higley. Number 7, Danny Kittner with the 2-point conversion. And it's 8:44 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Higley trailing by a count of 35-14. It's time to take a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. Stay tuned for more Game Time on YurView after this Circle K Polar Pop timeout.
Brandon's played sports since he was about 4 years old. He was playing flag football and tweaked his knee. We ended up taking him to Phoenix Children's. The doctors confirmed that the ACL was torn, and we were given the option to not surgically repair, but then he would have to stop all sports. Brandon was devastated. We ended up going forward with the surgery when the doctor gave him the thumbs up. He wanted to go back out onto the playing field that night. Phoenix Children's played a huge role in getting him back to sports.
What makes even better than other schools is that it's very hands-on, and the teachers, you can tell they really want to teach. They love teaching their students. The people who work here really care about what they're doing.
And welcome back to the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView. Saguaro leading Higley by counts of 35-14, but it was the Knights' senior running back Drayson Hall with the 51-yard touchdown run for the Knights. And Eddie Zuby talked about Hall before the game. He showed all these attributes on that last TD run. He makes the first guy miss. He's got home run speed, shifty, and he's learned to be patient waiting for his blocks.
He's got a 4.1 GPA and came into the game averaging almost 10 yards per carry, and obviously a number of scholarship offers, kind of hoping and waiting on that Stanford offer. Another 4.1 GPA. Obviously, he's recruitable by Stanford.
And when I talked to Drayson Hall earlier in the week, Dale, he told me college coaches are telling him he's not big enough. They wish he was 5'10", 190 pounds. He checks in at 5 feet 8 inches, 174 pounds.
Well, and that is the one thing you look at for sure, is the fact that you have to fit in a box if you're going to be a D1 recruit. Unfortunately, I think that allows them to miss out on some really good football players.
And Drayson Hall would certainly be one of those players. And fielding the kick on the sideline is Ringo, but it's going to be marked out of bounds.
Another one of those young kids who'll learn from that. Ball looked like it was going to go ahead and bounce out of bounds. Ringo picks it up, and as he's coming back onto the field to play, his foot touches the white line.
And a great job there by the Higley kicker, Henrik Normell. Touched on him being an exchange student from Sweden. Coach Eddie Zuby said he likes Normell to have the kickoffs to be between the numbers and the sideline. And that one was absolutely perfect.
Between the numbers and the sideline? On a high school field?
That's what he's expecting.
My goodness. He might have a hard time finding some NFL kickers able to do that.
We got it that time. It worked. Good job there by Normell. And LeRae Lucas now with the carry for the Sabercats. It is pretty tight down there between the numbers and sideline. What do you give it, about 7 yards?
Well, I'd say it's probably at least 10.
10, okay.
10 yards, but that's still pretty tight. And the difference between that, the returner grabbing it, stepping out of bounds on the 6, and it rolling out of bounds and being a penalty is very, very small, the difference.
Saguaro now with 2nd and 4 from their own 13. Just over 8 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. 2 receivers left. And up the middle, Ray Lucas, but he gets swarmed by a ton of white jerseys, and in on the tackle for Higley is Keith Wesley along with Cade Matthews. Matthews had 109 tackles last year for the Knights. Came into tonight's game with 20 tackles, a pair of sacks, fumble recovery, and a blocked field goal. 3rd and 6 for the Sabercats. 2 receivers split right, 2 split left, single setback. Massengale rolls out left, squares his shoulders, finds his receiver, Zach Wilson, cuts it inside, first down, Sabercats. And there is that Massengale-Wilson connection once again.
Well, just what a nice job there by Massengale as Lucas LeRae allows his guy to just come underneath and put pressure on Massengale. Massengale did that entirely on himself in the game that Wilson is having. 9 catches, 124 yards, and a touchdown.
And he came into tonight's game with 12 catches for 179 yards, so he's almost matched those numbers here tonight. Massengale with the keeper. Another first down for the Sabercats.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Can they pick up that first down previously, which they did? Again, you're going to fake the fly sweep. You got a pulling guard out in front of you and then explosive quarterback. But if you're going to be a championship football club, this is where you take the ball on about a 4-minute drive, 3-minute drive, run some time off this clock. Whether you put points on the board or not, you flip the field position, but you let this clock run.
And both coaches, Dale, when we talked to them before the game, they said one of the keys was to win the line of scrimmage. And Massengale almost gets picked off, but we've got a flag on the play.
Oh, what a tremendously athletic play by Hubbard. Reads Massengale's eyes, makes a break on the ball, almost comes up with the interception. And if you look down the field, Pettijohn probably should have thrown a little bit of the ball.
The offense, it's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It's another illegal shift on this Sabercat offense, so it's not like they won't have anything to work on next week.
There'll be some teaching moments for sure for that man right there, Saguaro head coach Jason Mons, as the penalties continue to rack up here for Saguaro. They now have 1st and 15 from their own 34-yard line, 6:09 remaining. And it's going to be another inside handoff to Lucas. Spins out of a tackle, a little stiff one, picks up some more yards. Nice job there by the senior running back, Lorray Lucas.
You know, as you watch this Saguaro offense move the ball, pick up first downs, and that offensive line is going to get better as the season goes along. Just another counter situation.
Another first down for the Sabercats.
Their 23rd of the game.
That's one thing Jason Mons has got to be certainly pleased about here this evening for the Sabercats. Inside handoff to Ray Lucas. And that Saguaro offensive line doing some work up front. And remember, the Sabercats lost 3 offensive linemen that went to Pac-12 schools. And they also had a tight end that went on to Colorado, Jared Poplowski. There's Jax Waycazer, Corey Stevens, Sean Seawards all moved on to Pac-12 schools. 2nd and 4 for the Sabercats. Clock winding down, 5:25 remaining. There's going to be another inside handoff. This time it's going to be Josiah Bradley. He falls forward, close to a first down.
See Jason Mons there. The first time I met Jason was his first year as a head coach. He came up to me as I stand on the sidelines for the game and said, "Hey, Dale," and I said, "Hey, how are you?" I thought he was a high school senior or maybe a freshman coming back to help out. And the thing is, the guy's been coaching 6-7 years now, and he doesn't look any older now than he did 6 years ago. He's had a kid, he's gotten married, won state championships, and doesn't look like there's been 1 ounce of stress in that body.
That's good, clean living, Dale. And it's also what it's like when you win state championships year after year after year.
But the pressure builds, and I remember talking with Charlie Regal when he was at Chaparral, and I went through that in Dallas, where you win a Super Bowl, you come back, the pressure to win another one is so great. Nothing really matches that first one. And so how do you keep these kids focused and hungry year after year after year? You have to have some special traits, and obviously Jason Mons has those.
2nd and 3, Sabercats. Bradley's going to get bottled up by that defense, but he still pushes forward. And it's going to be close to a first down. And they are going to give it to him as they wave the chains forward.
Well, you think of Bradley, 220 pounds. You know, you're wondering, boy, what position he's going to play at the next level. That body looks like he could put on a few more pounds. Obviously athletic, has quickness and speed. Be fun to watch him as his season goes along.
And Mons calls him a big, physical, downhill runner who's also extremely versatile. Swirl their 10th play of the drive, hitting the corner, down the sideline, Zach Wilson. Another big pickup by the senior. And this Sabercat offense continues to roll.
See this fly sweep again. Massengale reading that defensive end. Defensive end stays at home. You hand the ball off. He goes out. You keep it. And you just see Wilson making guys miss. You've seen him catch the ball. Just had himself one heck of a football game.
This Sabercat offense certainly has an array of offensive weapons. They can hit you from anywhere on the field. First and goal, Sabercats from the 8. Josiah Bradley up the middle. A gain of a couple.
Well, this is exactly what I said they needed to do. I mean, to me, this is a sign of a championship football team. You know, this is a 6-minute drive coming up here very quickly, and it's been running the football. Championship teams are able to do that because at some point in this season they're going to be in a game that's closer than this. Can you churn out first downs and run that clock down? They're showing that right now against one of the better teams in their division.
Second and goal. Massengale keeps it up the middle, fights for the touchdown, and gets it. But there is going to be a flag on the play. Let's see if the touchdown stands or not.
One of those late flags.
The touchdown is good. Personal foul, face mask, number 17 of the defense. That 15 yards will be enforced on the kickoff.
So Massengale with the 6-yard touchdown run, pushing that Saguaro lead.
I think that's something that you're this coaching staff, you know, Jason Mons and that offensive staff, you just have to really be pleased with the way this offensive line and the running backs put that drive together, running that time off the clock. 12 plays.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, number 68. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
12 plays, 93 yards, over 6 minutes of playing time, and leaves Higley with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Zepp on for the extra point. And it is up and good. Sabercats now lead 42-14. And here are last week's Talkies Hot Players of the Week. Talkies face the intensity. And how about Mesa senior running back Chris Jackson? 273 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns on 23 carries. And the Jackrabbits win over Copper Canyon. A.J. Blair from Choya, 13 catches, 235 yards, a pair of scores. And then Gunnar Cruz of Castile, he's had a nice season. 19 of 24, 228 yards, 4 TDs as the Colts won their 3rd straight game of the season over Empire. And how about Matt Leisure, the junior running back at Campo Verde, goes over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns in the Coyotes' 30-26 win over Gilbert. And Campo Verde is now 3-0 on the season. So some terrific efforts there. Our Talkies Hot Players of the Week. Here's a good look at Swirl quarterback Max Massengale. And this is the feeling that the Sabercats are used to. And that is having their way with opponents, coming off 2 losses in the last 2 games. So Swirl will now kick off from Higley's 45-yard line because of the penalty. And that will certainly be a touchback. As Joseph Zepp keeps it deep.
Again, I think it's one of those things when you look at NCAA basketball and you see teams that schedule tougher competition to start the season. You know what? They're not going to have an unblemished record, but come tournament time, they're going to be tested. It's not like they're going to run through an easy schedule and then the first sign, you know, of a struggle that they're going to wilt. They've already been there. They've done that. I think it was a tremendous job by Jason Mons to schedule the schedule that he did.
Pass and fall incomplete from Brash, and Jason Mons brought up a great point. He said he wants those tough games to be a barometer to find out what this Saguaro team needs to work on moving forward and trying to get what's really important out of this season. and that's a gold ball. The state championship trophy, then get another ring on that.
Well, and especially when you have such a young team who has not, a lot of these guys, this is their first foray into it. Maybe they've had success on the freshman team and JV team, but they have not had it at the varsity level. And a lot of times you need to struggle a little bit. A lot of these Saguaro teams haven't had to, but many of them haven't been this young.
Brash drops back, goes down the middle of the field, has his receiver and hauled it in for the Knights. Nice pickup there for Higley. Jacob Rowland, the senior, hauls it in.
Good pass protection. Saguaro has a lot of its backups in, comes open across the middle. You can see some really nice things out of Spencer Brash. I think he's got a fine future ahead. And remember, he's only a junior. I suspect he comes back next year at 6'4", maybe grows into 6'5", 210, and even a stronger arm.
He played JV last year. So this is his first season as varsity, but he looks like he's already a veteran. Tries to elude the rush there. Saguaro picks up a couple. Minute 15 remaining here. Third down for Higley. We got a flag on the play as we take a look at the replay.
Well, the only thing I'm going to say is that...
Dead ball on sportsmanlike conduct, number 45 of the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
Know when it's time to go down.
So it'll now be 1st and 10 for Higley at the Saguaro 37-yard line. 1:10 remaining. Trips left, single receiver to the right. Brash looks in the middle field, tries to elude the rush, gets to the right, finds an edge, working the right sidelines before being knocked out of bounds, and a big hit by the Sabercats. Brian DeBoard with the pop, the junior free safety.
Well, that's where I'm saying, you know what? You need to know the situation. Looks like there's holding behind the play, but that's where you need to know the situation. If you're Spencer Brash, hey, me lowering my shoulder to try and gain an extra yard and take a big hit makes absolutely no sense when I'm down 42-14. If it's 4th and 4 in a tie ball game and I need that extra yard, yes, go ahead and try and get that extra yard, but you do not want to get injured in a situation like he was just in.
Brash rolls right, takes off running once again, gets tripped up before he has the opportunity to run out of bounds. And making the tackle for the Sabercats was Brian Miller.
A lot of young guys out there for Saguaro getting some action, as we said. And again, I think both these teams will improve as this season goes along, but I think Saguaro really could be a juggernaut by the time this season comes to a close.
James Maggio with the catch before being brought down. Maggio, he's got an offer from Adams State, also runs track for the Knights, 100 and 200 meters. As the clock ticks down.
Didn't get a first down, think that is going to be it.
And that will do it. And it is the Saguaro Sabercats getting the big win over the Higley Knights in the big 4A clash amongst two of the top teams in the state in that classification. And it is the Sabercats getting the victory over the Knights by a count of 42-14. We'll be back with more from Saguaro High School. You're watching the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView. We'll be right back.
Brandon's played sports since he was about 4 years old. He was playing flag football and tweaked his knee. We ended up taking him to Phoenix Children's. The doctors confirmed that the ACL was torn, and we were given the option to not surgically repair, but then he would have to stop all sports. Brandon was devastated. We ended up going forward with the surgery when the doctor gave him the thumbs up. We wanted to go back out onto the playing field that night. Phoenix Children's played a huge role in getting him back to sports.
Hey, little man. I'm your new house. Come on in. This is gonna be great. Watch what we can do together. Lights. Ta-da! Locks. Not bad, huh? Oh, and this. I've been saving this for you. You take care of the universe, I'll take care of you.
Cox Home Life. Home security and automation.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Every week, join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez for a Southwest adventure on Su Vida.
An architect once envisioned a better way to build a city.
And so he did, and it's beautiful.
This week, we're traveling to Arcosanti.
On
Su Vida.
Watch Su Vida every Sunday and Wednesday only on YurView at YurView.com.
Are you talkies enough?
Capital of Iceland.
Reykjavik. R-E-E-Y.
Whoops.
Takis. Taste the fury of our flavors and face the intensity.
The YurView Game of the Week is sponsored locally by Sanderson Ford. The best play is at Sanderson Ford. By Jack in the Box. Come try the new really big chicken sandwich combo for only $3.99, limited time only. By Arizona Automotive Institute. Turn your dreams into reality with career training from AAI. For Red Devil Italian restaurant, family owned since 1960. By Circle K. It's time to take a Circle K Polar Pop timeout. By Valle Luna, proud sponsor student athletes in Arizona. By Phoenix Children's Sports Medicine, Arizona's only comprehensive sports medicine program for young athletes. And by Takis, face the intensity. Well, it's the Saguaro Sabercats getting the victory over Higley by count of 42-14 as we take a look at some of the numbers from tonight.
Yeah, you see Drayson Hall, 16 carries, 160 yards. You can see how dynamic he is, and you can see everything that's talked about it. He's going to go on to have a fantastic year. Then you look at Saguaro, just so many different weapons offensively. Massingale, 235 yards passing, 122 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Now, the one thing Saguaro is really going to have to look at, and I'm sure their coaching staff will do that, is the 15 penalties for 116 yards and probably third down conversions. You'd like to be a little higher than 40%.
Well, here's tonight's Takis Hot Player of the Game. Takis face the intensity. A lot of guys had tremendous nights for the Sabercats, but we're going to give this award tonight to the wide receiver, the senior, Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson was just unbelievable. 9 catches, 124 yards, and 1 touchdown. Breaks tackles, physical, great vision. See him cutting clear across the football field and just does not want to go down on the football field, and had himself one heck of a football game.
A terrific evening for Zach Wilson and the rest of the Sabercats as well. All right, when we come back, we'll have our final thoughts as Saguaro gets the victory over Higley by count of 42-14. You're watching Game Time on YurView. We'll be right back.
What makes even better than other schools is that it's very hands-on, and the teachers, you can tell they really want to teach. They love teaching their students. The people who work here really care about what they're doing.
Tickets are now available for the annual Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism Luncheon, held Thursday, October 19th at the Sheraton Grand Phoenix. Join media industry and community leaders in honoring award-winning co-anchors and co-managing editors of the PBS NewsHour, Judy Woodruff and the late Gwen Eiffel. To learn more or to purchase tickets, call 602-496-0482 or visit cronkite.asu.edu/luncheon.
Action.
Comedy. Horror.
Speak, find, feel. This is the all-new Contour from Cox. It's cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
Welcome back to the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView. It is the Saguaro Sabercats getting the win over Higley. We got a correction on that score. The final was actually Saguaro 42 and Higley 14. Chris Harris here along with Dale Hellestray. And Dale, your final thoughts here on what you saw tonight.
Well, my final thoughts are I've talked enough about football. We've pointed out the AstroTurf field, which is nice. But my vote for the best press box, most valuable press box in the state goes to Saguaro High School. And for the first time in I don't know how many years, I actually turned the air conditioning down in here is how cool it was.
You turned it down?
How cool it was in here. I love it. Look at that.
Are we gonna have to get you
right
a parka next time we come up here?
My goodness gracious.
It's nice to be back at the old alma mater here, Saguaro High School. Well, it's game time next Thursday night with two of the top players, two of the top teams, and two programs who expect to be there at the end of the season. Spencer Rattler, rated by Scouting Services as one of the top QBs in the country for the class of 2019, and the Pinnacle Pioneers travel to the west side to take on head coach Richard Taylor, running back Zidane Thomas, and the Centennial Coyotes in a cross-division matchup. The game is a national YurView telecast on Thursday, starting at 7 p.m. on Cox Channel 4 and online at YurView.com. This is one game you do not want to miss. Well, that'll do it for us here tonight. We want to thank the help of our producers, Rich Reed and Ron Bruce, our directors, Peter Gordon and Michelle Godwin, our TD, Tom Drotzman. On audio, Randy Meter and Alex Rincon. Duet, Diana Drotzman. And video, Gib White. Our EVS operators, John Burns, DeJuan Brown. And working on tape, Karen Robinson. And our cameramen, Eric Knipfer, Scott Santiago, David Tellez, Brock Kraft, and Scott Cruz. On utility, Jade Hines. Our stat man, Jared Donnins. Our stage manager keeping us in line up here, Beth Pockman. And working the score bug was Sydney Carriel. Our red hat on the field, Ashley Hope. And our engineer tonight, Cable Hogan. And for my partner, Dale Hellestray, I'm Chris Harris. Thanks for watching this week's Game Time Game of the Week on YurView. Have a great night, everybody.